spider to the flying machines all around it. The 12-inch long hardened steel spikes can ram and lift a ton in weight. The four-wheel drive gives it a 0-degree turning circle. The shell's aluminium. The spiders were designed by a Year 7 pupil.
Roboteers, stand by.
Captain Kim Davis, Kevin Pritchard and Lee Wickham with Panic Attack.
Panic Attack has a top speed of 10 miles an hour. We have some pretty flashing lights and some wicked force.
3, 2, 1, activate.
And there's an extra trap in the waiting here for our competitors. The ram rig just in front of the seesaw. So Killalot there at the top of the picture. Panic Attack nervy as the ram rig squeezes in. But now, onto the seesaw. Has it got enough power? Killalot coming in, but holding the seesaw down! Oh, that's demonic! And that's Evil Knievel from Panic Attack! But Dead Metal's waiting! And in comes Shunt as well with a deadly axe! Piercing and punctuating and puncturing! That's Spider at Panic Attack! What are they going to do now? Oh, that is the eye of the Spidey! And this looks deadly! They're stopped! No wonder Shunt's happy. And that was the tactic used by Killalot to hold the seesaw down. Had to fly through the air and then in trouble. But not a bad run, 10.8 metres.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Kim Davis, the driver, wants to be an F-15 fighter pilot. Here he comes in for the kill. Bandits, tally-ho! Ooh, in comes Shunt to try and spin it away. And Shunt goes instead!
Excellent. Gave us one in the eye last round. This time he took it. Big time.
Well done, lads. It looks like you're through to the next round.
Panic Attack, shunting the house robot off. Victorious! And through, surely.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Panic Attack, the faster, heavier, but smaller of the two. Has to avoid those flailing lumps of metal. To avoid the circular saw blade underneath if Whirling Dervish gets up on top like that. But flipped up by the two electrically operated lifting spikes, could be in danger. Has to avoid the PPZ, don't forget. The perimeter patrol zone guarded by our own house robots, tugged and pulled and flipped. And now in comes Dead Metal with those horrible pincers dragging it back in to the kill. Burning rubber. In goes Dead Metal. He loves it. We all love it. But that's the crazy world of Robot Wars. And in comes Shunt. And there's the camera. And there's the pickaxe. And this looks deadly now for Whirling Dervish. Have they given up the ghost? Let's see what's happening to Panic Attack. Oh, look at that damage caused to Sergeant Bash. His fan club does not look amused. And Matilda may want revenge on behalf of the house robots. Good dodge by Panic Attack, but Bash looks in real trouble there. And I think Panic Attack has done enough, because the Whirling Dervish team have virtually retired.
3, 2, 1, activate.
The saw against the lifting spikes. Panic Attack lower. Lower centre of gravity, getting in underneath that saw though. How low can the saw go? Seemed to me it couldn't get down to create damage there to Panic Attack. And I think the lifting spikes, made from hardened steel, 12 inches long, could cause problems here. Panic Attack trying to push Disruptor back towards that pit there, and again, using the four-wheel drive towards the pit of oblivion. Disruptor on the edge here. They want the end. Down, 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 out, and the end is nigh. And comes for Disruptor. A spinning spider's web.
Oh, Panic Attack!
3, 2, 1, activate.
Well, we know what they can do to the house robots. Panic Attack spun Shunt off in the sumo ring in its heat. And now taking on the gauntlet and needs to cover 6.9 metres. Have they chosen the right option here? Because they're taking on the ram rig and the circular shores. A little bit of pace to get through, can get up to 9 miles an hour. The boys from Mace anxiously looking on, of course. They're last in the field so far. And it's panic across the face of Panic Attack.
It's not looking good for that last robot.
It's not, is it? I know how he feels. I know how he feels.
Well, it's obvious now, I should think, between Mace and Panic Attack. Who goes out, though? Can they creep forward a couple more centimetres? Just a couple more centimetres! There they go! Have they done enough? It's going to be very, very tight. Very tight.
Come off the platform!
Okay, the round stopped, and now we have a little wait.
I think he's got far.
You think he's got far enough?
Never mind.
You're not filling up there, are you, Shannon?
No. Don't do things like that.
What made you choose that route?
Well, everybody was going down the centre. We thought we'd make it a bit different, try that direction. Unfortunately, got hung up on the cutters there.
Well, we have a very interesting result here.
Okay, I've just got the news.
Interestingly enough, you've travelled exactly the same distance as Mace.
It is exactly the same measurement.
So you and Mace are going to have to run the gauntlet again?
You're going to have to run again.
No, not again.
You're not yet out, but you're not yet through.
This has never happened before in Robot Wars. Mace and Panic Attack to go again, head-to-head. Technical expert Derek Foxwell spins the coin. They're deciding which lane to start in. And it looks as if Shane has won the toss. And it looks as if Mace will be starting, as we look at it, in the left-hand lane, which means they could have to come out and go against the Sentinel. Let's have a look at their stats in the first ever race-off in Robot Wars. Panic Attack against Mace. Panic Attack, slightly the heavier, but certainly the faster.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
History is made on Robot Wars, the first ever race-off, and immediately Panic Attack makes further progress. You see, that choice of lane's decisive. Panic Attack can take on the seesaw. Mace has to go beyond the Sentinel, which is blocking its path now. So far, it's Panic Attack from Mace. Mace being pinned by the Sentinel and very nearly going there. Forced backwards, just surviving. Meanwhile, Panic Attack takes on Shunt. Shunt holding Panic Attack back, but Panic Attack still leads. Thank goodness me! Mace is flipped and survives the flip by Sentinel. Still, though, Panic Attack is further down the course. Mace now needs to go. Panic Attack gets a flick of the scorching flame from Sergeant Bash. And Mace is coming back ever so slowly. Mace now pushed away by the Sentinel, teetering, tottering, and gone. And Panic Attack is through.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
How much has that race-off taken out of Panic Attack? 5 points scored for each brick knocked down, 10 points for each barrel knocked down. Hey, did you see that? There was a chip off the old block in there. The barrels are tumbled, and the bricks too. By the way, any brick or barrel knocked down by a house robot won't count. There's Killalot closing. Every time they go over the seesaw, that's 15 points. Now to take on Dead Metal, protecting that 75-point buffer. Points scored by Panic Attack, backing into the bricks. And again, this is a good run so far. Dead Metal again protecting its buffer zone. But coming away, that's an open goal. Go on, get in there. Oh, why didn't they score 75 points? They seem to get stuck. Now taking on Matilda's zone. The Tusks praising open the aluminium shell and causing damage. They've got to get out of there and quick. Spinning away from Matilda. Good driving from Kim Davis. Those bricks already down. Look, one brick completely shattered. These are concrete blocks, let me remind you. What power. What a good run. 320 points scored for Panic Attack.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Panic Attack, the heavier. Both of these bots can get up to 9 miles an hour. Mortis is the deadlier, surely. With that sharpened blade. Great speed by Panic Attack. Good steering by Kim Davis to get away. An enduring robot. The blood-stained fangs to no avail against Mortis with the titanium laminated Kevlar shell. Almost slipped. Oh, goodness me, what a surprise! Mortis has gone out! That's a huge shot!
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
England against Wales, and of course the beasts from Armageddon awaiting the PPZ. Panic attack immediately on the attack, and I think that's caused problems to Kilotron immediately. Well, I was wondering about its durability under pressure, and I don't think Kilotron can move here. There's something wrong. There's something badly wrong. It's stuck, and already they've got problems. This was the doubt we had about Kilotron. Panic attack shoving it in the PPZ there. Here comes Dead Metal, and also Kill-A-Lot awaits. With that deadly lance to turn it up on its side and over. And all the fears about Kilotron have come true. And it's Panic Attack, the surprise package at the moment. Oh, and look at that. Scratching and scraping and tearing. And Panic Attack goes forward and wants to have a little piece of the house robots. Panic Attack looking to use those electrically operated lifting spikes. And Kilotron's in all sorts of trouble here. And on its way out, surely, into the flames. Lifted a lot by Kill-A-Lot. Oh, it's not a thriller killer for Kilotron, because Kill-A-Lot has it dangling into the flames, and Panic Attack only needs to stay out of trouble. But he wants to rumble with shunt and bash there. Look at the strength from this little Welsh bot. So underrated. And he wants to push bash into the pit. Goes in itself. But I think they've done enough. Panic Attack.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Almost silence in the arena. It is so tense. Cassius immediately on the attack with Rex Caron, an inspiration to all young engineers everywhere. And underneath Panic Attack, with that front blade, Panic Attack raising money for charity. Really couldn't have two more pleasant finalists, but now, go on, kill each other. Cassius, oh hey! A flyover from Panic Attack. A little hop. And piggyback on the back of Cassius and pushing it into Dead Metal. Look at this again. Up and over. Good stuff. Good control by Panic Attack, and again. But the aggression was on the part of Cassius. And again on Dead Metal. But Rex loves a house robot. Panic Attack turns. Get up to 9 miles an hour. Cassius 25 miles an hour. The more powerful of the two. Panic Attack underrated. Look at that! Oh, what an upset! Panic Attack the winners! That is a huge upset!
In Wales, Evil Weevil.
Captain Kevin Pritchard was part of the title-winning Panic Attack team in the last series, and you can see the similarities here. Electric-operated spikes, the shell ballistic fiberglass. One to watch this.
Hi, I'm Andrew, this is Michael, and this is our teacher, Mr. Pritchard. And this is our robot, Evil Weevil, representing the Lantanum School. The shell is made out of fiberglass and Kevlar. And these are our main weapons. Some lifting claws, which can do some pretty nifty damage.
Well, involved with Panic Attack in the last war was Kevin Pritchard there on the left-hand side. Good team, won the competition, had everything. Good steering, control, manoeuvrability, power. The reigning champions, of course.
From Bristol, Tri-Terabot.
At 75.2 kilos, it's the lightest in the field. Various sharp ramming weapons, and the unique triangular construction means there's no front, back, top or bottom, omnidirectional. That's a new one for us.
Roboteers, stand by.
The Welsh team with Evil Weevil, Kevin Pritchard, teacher, Andrew Davis and Michael Walsh, the pupils, and Tri-Terabot with the father and son team,
2,
Stan
1,
and Jason Launchbrick.
activate.
And it's Tri-Terabot moving quickly across the arena floor. Now this is a completely new sort of design for us. It has the Streammaker, of course, a self-righting mechanism, it has the spikes, it has the casters. It can go every which way, and at the moment it's impaled Evil Weevil on the arena wall, but they're away. Again, magnificent design. And it has those little Velcro strips, we're told, as well. Quite what they want to stick onto with the Velcro, I'm not too sure. Certainly not Sergeant Bash. That's Tri-Terabot's problem at the moment, but they're away. I'm getting a message from the pits that the Velcro on top of Evil Weevil is designed to mesh itself up in a chainsaw or any other sort of trap mechanism with opponents or house robots, of course. And look at this! Tri-Terabot is certainly stuck on Evil Weevil. Smoke coming out there of Tri-Terabot! What on earth is all this smoke billowing out? There's a starter motor from a motorcycle, van wiper motors as well in there, but nothing to cause smoke like this. Tri-Terabot has impaled itself on the Evil Weevil machine. They're as flummoxed as we are. There you can see the spike has impaled itself on the Evil Weevil. But okay now, some sort of smoke screen perhaps to suck Evil Weevil in, thinking they were in trouble. But they're not. And Evil Weevil now on the attack. We've yet to see those front spikes being brought into operation from the Evil Weevil boys. Now perhaps in underneath Tri-Terabot. A low ground clearance of 50 millimeters from a splendid triangular machine. And up on its side, when it can go any which way, frontwards, backwards, but it's stuck there on its side. And that really is a turn-up. Now, can the Evil Weevil team finish them off here? One last shunt should do it. Oh, missed. Let's go back again, boys. Tri-Terabot surviving. Jason Launchbury is a potholer. That's one of his great hobbies. And he's got to dig himself out of a hole here. This is dead metal. But he's getting some punishment and loving it here. Jason Launchbury, that's his machine that's getting punishment from Shunt with the pickaxe. Also, Evil Weevil, a little nudge on the side. Michael Walsh at the controls, a 15-year-old. Evil Weevil deciding to push into Shunt as well. I wouldn't take on the house robots quite yet because that's your punishment.
Cease.
Ooh, says Michael. But cease call just in time. Evil Weevil should go through here. Yes, indeed, funny shapes in the pits, and there are three of them. The Evil Weevil team. Kevin Pritchard, Andrew Davis and Michael Walsh. And Flip, Flop, Fly. Paul and Conrad Snook and Luke Angel. Hereford against Cardiff here. Something of a local rivalry.
Activate.
Evil Weevil is the quicker of the two robots. It's a strange old thing, Flip, Flop, Fly, isn't it? Looks like a turbine from a jet revolving. It's hardly a jet engine, though, in terms of power or speed. Snook at the controls. But it's Evil Weevil on the attack, biting in underneath with the spikes. Evil Weevil backing away. Flip Flop Fly trying to get that great axe weapon to come in, the rolling axe. Also with its spikes, and Evil Weevil driven into the CPZ. And now taking punishment from Shunt through the top of the ballistic fiberglass. Oh, just missing. Great axe of Shunt almost down through one of the holes in the arena floor. And now, look at this. Axe to axe, weapon to weapon. Slam, bam. Thank you, ma'am, says Flip Flop Fly away from Shunt. Evil Weevil keeping its distance sensibly slow. We've seen the power now of that great weapon. In goes Evil Weevil again underneath. It's a bit like a huge, great pendulum, that Flip Flop Fly weapon of Paul's. That's the camera on Shunt. The great rubber tyres of Flip Flop Fly. Should they be pushed towards the flame pit, will be in trouble. I don't think any of the house robots here can cause great damage to Flip Flop Fly unless it is to those tyres. Bouncing off, though, the weapon of Shunt. So in comes Matilda with a chainsaw tail to rip and shred. And Flip Flop Fly, all right, let's all have a go. But I'll tell you what, the fact that the house robots are closing in on Flip Flop Fly means it must be immobilised out there. They're allowed to do it if there's no life left in the house robot. It's still moving. But there's obviously something wrong. Matilda, Kilowop, they're all in here. One of the tyres seems to be slowly deflating, no wonder. Shunt takes a close-up of Kill-A-Lot for its holiday snap album. And just lifting, flip, flop, fly away, all our hopes and dreams. A flutter, a shudder, but no more than that. The tyre deflated, the hopes have gone. And Evil Weevil, at the bottom of your picture, has won this one. This then for a place in the series semi-finals.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Robot Wars has found 2 stars, I think, here. In the Evil Weevil team, young Michael at the controls, who's looked pensive and serious throughout. And in the Panzer team, Crom on the left shakes his head. He's been a star for me, but he's shaking his head. Look at this. Panzer has not got off and away. There's a problem right at the start of the heat final. Panzer seems to have been immobilised. What a shame this is. Richard Jones and Simon Jones and Crom. Well, they were asked just before they went into the cherry picker, are you happy with your robot? That's an inquiry we always make. Yes was the reply. And obviously something has gone wrong badly right at the start here. There's no life in Panzer at all. Richard at the controls can do nothing. In comes Evil Weevil, and don't forget Kevin Pritchard and the Evil Weevil team, the teacher there from Clantanum School, has a winning streak. He was part of the championship winning Panic Attack in the last series, and it looks to me as if Evil Weevil have won this one. They're slamming on the attack of Panzer again. First time we've really seen the lifting claws at the front. Tipped with blood at the seam. And the lifeblood, the very lifeblood of Panzer is trickling away. Oh, what a shame. Well, there you see Kevin at the controls of Evil Weevil. And I think because they're splendid roboteers, they'll be disappointed in the outcome of this. They'd have wanted a better battle themselves. The great tracks of Panzer being lifted up by Kill-A-Lot. Well, those tracks alone weigh 20 kilos, and look at Kill-A-Lot just spinning it around as if it's a mere bauble. Nothing Richard Jones can do here whatsoever. The torch of Bash, they can only grin and bear it. Well done for getting to the heat final, but it's Evil Weevil who go to the semis.
Roboteers, stand by.
Hypnodisc, sadly, twin brother Derek couldn't be here today. There's Ken and Dave on the left.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Controls of Evil Weevil, Michael Walsh. What a likeable but earnest young man he is. Serious? Has to be. Hypnodisc, he's deadly. Evil Weevil, stay out of trouble, I would. And maybe try and lift with those front spikes. Oh no! Michael, get away from the CPZ. Well done. Well, just deflecting a blow of Hypnodisc. This is interesting because if the weapon doesn't cause damage from Hypnodisc, what else does that spinning robot have? Mind you, it does have the disc, and look at that! Causing problems for Evil Weevil. Something flew off the shell of Evil Weevil. Good battle here. Kevin Pritchard's now taken the controls of the Beetle. That's an interesting development. And I wonder if he's trying to get those blood-tipped spikes in underneath Hypnodisc. Got quite a high ground clearance, you know, 23 millimeters. And maybe Evil Weevil can get in underneath. That's what Kevin thinks. Holding the controls high to get a clean, crisp signal out to the Beetle. But it's Hypnodisc on the attack. Something flies off again. Hypnodisc pushing Evil Weevil. Oh, slamming and lifting it. And there, don't forget, Kill-A-Lot awaits in the CPZ. Evil Weevil dangerously close. Do not back towards the CPZ. That could be the end of the Beetle. Kevin Pritchard gets your machine up and away from that area. Is there a problem with the controls, I wonder? They can't get a clean run away, and it's Hypnodisc on the attack. Inexorably pushing Evil Weevil towards Kill-A-Lot in the lance. Good driving here by the Roses. And Evil Weevil, well, a rose between 2 thorns, 3 thorns, Shunt and Metal Kill-A-Lot. All in on the kill of Evil Weevil, immobilised in the CPZ. You do not want to be in there, Kevin Pritchard. And boys, That's what happens when you let the teacher take over.
And there's Evil Weevil, the weaponry consisting of electric-operated spikes. The motors come from a Sinclair C5, took 3 months to build, cost £400 to make. Comes from Wales. And Alien. This again with 3-inch spikes as the main weaponry. Electric-powered, 70 kilos. It's lighter here, but to me, looks the less well-made robot.
Roboteers, stand by.
Evil Weevil, Kevin Pritchard, 32 years of age on the left there, part of the Panic Attack team which won the Series 2 Robot Wars Championship. And
3,
Alien, John Dunn,
2,
Charlotte Dunn,
1.
and Ray Dunn.
Activate.
Will they be done in by Evil Weevil? Quick to get the early possession, going the wrong way, slamming in against the arena boards. There's fullback Matilda first the ball. Let's see her ball control. Well, non-existent, of course. First touch in the arena. Her second touch of the ball in outer space, really. Shame. Don't know what coaching manual Matilda has ever used. One hates to think, actually. And Matilda decides to take Alien out and knock the ball. Oh, a little nudge there of the tusks. Now, in comes Evil Weevil. Also fouling Alien, but anything goes, really. In the Robot Wars Soccer Championship. Tackle from behind on Alien from Evil Weevil. A little bit of a midfield struggle going on here. That's Evil Weevil against the sideboards, trying to release the ball, get it back into play, spring it off those boards. You can see there Kevin Pritchard and the youngsters Andrew Davis and Michael Walsh in the Evil Weevil team. A bit of a standoff situation between Evil Weevil and Matilda. Just look each other over. What's happened to Alien here? Flipped up and over. Immobilised. Oh, the spike from the arena floor doing the damage. I don't know what a referee would have made of that. The tackle from underneath, not from behind. Oh, now what's happened here to Evil Weevil? Lost an antenna. I wonder if that'll affect the control of Evil Weevil. Doesn't seem to have affected it at all. Trying to get in behind Matilda now. Blindside run. Would be without one of those antennae, of course. Pushing Matilda away. Difficult to see what they're trying to do here. Eventually, oh, there's that's it. The goal, boys. Remember, that is the aim of the game. Get that round thing. They're bobbling away into that thing there. It's called a goal net. Well, Evil Weevil's gone in the goal net, minus ball. I don't think that counts, lads. Yeah, it's there, to your left, Evil Weevil. No, behind. Go on! Oh! Squeezed up into the air. Let's have another go. Look at that. Up he goes, bouncing off Matilda's snout. And away. Oh, I think Matilda's lost an eye there in the process. But kept the ball out of the net. And I think Evil Weevil have done enough. They'll go through, I'm sure, which leaves the Alien team disappointed. John, Charlotte and Raymond. They were immobilised early on, and it means that Evil Weevil, yes indeed, go through there to the finalist ball with Velociripper and Nasher. More soccer later on in the series. Meanwhile, back to you, Craig. Forget your Jules Rimet Trophy. Forget your European Champions League. This is the big one. The Robot Wars Robotic Soccer Cup Final.
Stand by.
They're from Wales, the General and Nasher and Velociripper and Evil Weevil. Velociripper with the speed, 20 miles an hour, like a little dashing winger. Nasher. Oh, the front prong of Nasher there on the right seems to have been bent back already. That could affect its ball control. Matilda comes in. Normally Matilda's defences are down, actually, which isn't a very pleasant thought for anyone. Velociripper, I think, is burnt out. Is that a gouge down the side as well? Nasher, steady progress. Matilda, nippy challenge. Would make a good fullback, one feels, with that speed. Bit of a midfield general. They're the boys from Wales at the controls of the General. Evil Weevil is still motoring into the corner. They need to get the ball out of there. Sparks flying off the front of Evil Weevil, and indeed off the ball itself, heavily studied there off the arena wall. In came the General with a little bash on the back of Matilda, slamming it off the body of Matilda again. The General and Nasher come together with a block challenge. It's the general who comes away, but the scoop used only to push the ball against the arena wall. Very little control out there. Someone needs to put a prong or a blade on the ball, boys, and just bring this game under control. Matilda doing a guarding job, bit of a destructive job. A destroyer more than a creator, Matilda. I wonder if Matilda prefers the Catenaccio system. Well, certainly Nasha takes a sort of a Franco Baresi type challenge and is flung over. This is Matilda bobbling the ball beyond Evil Weevil. Evil Weevil's still alive. I'm not too sure about the other robots here in this final. The general slow movement. Velociripper long gone. Nasha's out of it. They need to bounce that ball off the arena wall. Matilda takes a chunk out of one of the arena blades. Matilda now just trying to push the ball along the side. It's come back into free play. Chance for Evil Weevil. Couldn't take advantage though. Slow to react. You're going the wrong way. That's it. Turn back. There's the goal. Remember the thing between the posts and the net. Ball goes in. Object of the game. What ball? Well, great balls of fire. At the moment, who's going to get there? The ball's on fire. This can only happen in Robot Wars, let's be honest. The ball in the final of the Soccer Cup, bursting into flames. Someone's got to score quickly here. Nash is on its side. Who's left still mobile? Who will get the decision? The judges have to decide. Well, it was Velociripper's first speed, but I think that did something to the engines, burnt out, immobilised. Nasher, an early touch that looked cultured. Yeah, Velociripper was finished. Matilda played a massive role here, shielding the ball away from the house robots, but stopping them scoring, so therefore doing her job and doing it well. Evil Weevil tried to take out Nasher and succeeded. So good aggression from Evil Weevil. And you know, I think that could be the most decisive part played in this entire final by Evil Weevil. And it was! Evil Weevil, crowned champions, Robotic Soccer Kings. Well done, Kevin Pritchard, Mike Walsh and Andrew Davis.
From Cardiff and seeded number 12, Evil Weevil.
Unlucky last time to meet Hypnodisc. Evil Weevil again has spikes and a pneumatic sledgehammer axe. The base is from the inside of a security van. The shell is fiberglass and Kevlar. Get ready for an upheaval from the Weevil. Certainly lifted Panzer up and out of the reckoning last time around. Good speed. The weaponry looks secure and dangerous. Until Evil Weevil then came up against superior opposition in Hypnodisc. And the rest is history. It needs additional weaponry this time around to survive the house robots and the opponents.
Hi, we're the Evil Weevil team from Puntanum School in Cwmbran. My name's Kevin Pritchard, this is Mark Meller and Ashley Adams.
We're on with a Bishops and sledgehammer with a spike on top. And we've got a ramp at the front.
From Oxford and Bristol, the Mousetrap.
Made from steel and Lexan, scrapyard debris, and an old office desk. This has a unique mousetrap weapon, powered by CO2, and is ready this time to rip those Mises to pieces. Last time around, they featured as Triterabot, beaten by Evil Weevil. Not enough weaponry, an awkward shape as well, and despite the fact they let off a smoke flare, disguised themselves under that smoke screen, little more was seen of Triterabot.
Hello, my name's Jason. This is my dad, Stan. This is our robot called the Mousetrap. It's got a trap mechanism which is designed to snare other robots. This is driven by 2 hydraulic rams driven off of high-pressure carbon dioxide. The wheels are driven by 750-watt motors, which are quite powerful. Top speed's about 12 miles an hour.
From Brighton, Tiberius.
This emperor of bots has a steel armour-piercing weapon powered by a car jack, welded steel chassis armoured with polypropylene. The gears come from a motorbike, and Tiberius is ready to rule.
Hello, we're the Tiberius team up from Brighton in Sussex. This is Tiberius. We've come here to hopefully win our first battle. My name's John. This is Sam. This is Simon. Sam will talk you through the technicalities of the robot.
Hi, it's powered by two 750 watt motors, top speed around 8 miles an hour, and it can pull a car up to about 7 miles an hour.
This is our offensive weapon, the armour piercer. This warhead was taken from a pneumatic road tool and in tests gone through this stainless steel sheet, and we intend to do a lot of damage when we come up against the other robots.
Roboteers, stand by.
Evil Weevil, seeded 12. Teacher, Kevin Pritchard, Ashley Evans and Mark Meller, his pupils. Mousetrap, Stan Launchbury and Jason, his son, at the controls, and Tiberius with John Coulthard, the teacher from Portslade Community College, Sam Smith at the controls. Evil Weevil, top of your picture, immediately taking on Tiberius, darting away from Mousetrap and that weapon which allegedly travels at 100 miles an hour. Are you sure? Tiberius darts away then from Evil Weevil. Top speeds of 10 miles an hour on the Weevil. Experienced team Kevin Pritchard was a member of the winning Panic Attack team in the Second Wars. There's Evil Weevil on the arena wall. Tentative stuff so far. Tiberius with the armour piercer made of steel. Just side by side away from Mousetrap's rather predictable and ponderous weapon. This is Tiberius in underneath Mousetrap. Mousetrap with a ground clearance of 20 millimetres in danger. There's the pickaxe of Tiberius pinning Mousetrap down. Well, stalemate it would seem there. It certainly pierced the shell of Mousetrap's steel and Lexan shell, and Evil Weevil has not done anything. One wonders whether Evil Weevil has been immobilised very early on here. It hasn't moved, and this is a surprise and a shock. The number 12 seeds from Clantarnham School. Evil Weevil immobilised, shunt on the right, dead metal on the left. A waggle of the antenna, that's not enough. You can waggle your antenna at Matilda all night, but the red bot's not confused. He knows what's going on. Mousetrap in the clutches of the red bot. What is going on there? Referee's not supposed to do that. Mousetrap now, side by side with Tiberius, but this is where the grinding, the mashing of metal and the destruction's going on, and it's all over for Evil Weevil. The bronze shell is ruptured and torched. There's Bashin with the great flamethrower. A lick of flame on the arena floor. And Evil Weevil back to Cardiff in pieces, it would seem. Mousetrap and Tiberius, all they've got to do is stay out of danger from the house robots. Well, knocked out by Hypnodisc last time around. They haven't got very far. Evil Weevil and Mousetrap and Tiberius have got themselves into problems. How daft is that? Going into the CPZ, the quarter patrol zone, and over goes Evil Weevil. Shards of metal flying off. Bounce. Off comes a bit of the plating. We know Evil Weevil are finished. It's a question now of damage limitation. And that's a disappointment for Kevin Pritchard and the Evil Weevil team. They're out.
From Swindon, Axios.
The name in Greek means a truly worthy and deserving person. Its tail can lift or crush. It has a drill extension too, and its flicking tongue deserves worthy praise.
I'm Colin, this is John, and this is Chris, and we're from Cranfield University. And this is our new robot called Axios. He is a four-wheel drive skid steer robot with a large tail for elevating, penetrating, or pulverising the opposition. He also has a twin rack-driven tongue for that bit of extra push.
From Gwent and reigning champion, Panic Attack.
They rebuilt their Robot King 4 times since he took his crown. They've settled on lifting spikes powered by Swedish Electrics, an alloy frame and shell. It can lift and push its own 81.6 kilos.
Hello, we're Team Panic. My name is Kim Davis, I'm team captain. This is my son Michael. We're back from the last wars with a few improvements. We now have a self-righting mechanism, and you have much larger and much more powerful spikes.
This was Panic Attack in the last wars against Cassius in the grand final. Cassius was the favourite, but Panic Attack stopped all that nonsense and won the crown.
Congratulations.
Hold the award up,
Hold it up, go on. Yay!
Roboteers, stand by.
Tough task for Axios then, with Colin Offer, Chris Ransom, whose hero is David Bowie, and John Economou, and there's Panic Attack, with Kim and son Michael. Michael was the creator of the idea of Panic Attack. And he looks a little bit nervous there. Oh, and why not Axios in on the attack? Looks like some deadly samurai warrior with a missile launcher on top. Panic Attack spins, groggy from the first onslaught from Axios. Now prodding away with the front lifting rams Panic Attack, and Axios driven in against Dead Metal. Away, points the missile launcher with the spike towards Panic Attack. Panic Attack, good maneuverability. In comes Dead Metal. There again, Axios driven against the arena wall. It seems Dead Metal, you can see there, trying to slam its pincers together. Axios now nervously prodding against Panic Attack. The front lifting mechanism can act as a Shrinek now for Panic Attack. A self-riding mechanism, should it be flipped up over. Trying once again to bring those front lifting spikes to bear, Panic Attack. Axios on the charge. Lifted up. Ooh, almost by Panic Attack. Those front lifting spikes give it more of a wedge shape, actually, when it's flying forward, Panic Attack, to get in underneath Axios. 6mm ground clearance only on, well, we'll call it the challenger here, because, of course, Panic Attack are the reigning champions. So difficult for Attack to get in underneath Axios. Backing away. Where's Axios gone, says Panic Attack. They just saw the front tongue flicked out and staying out, actually, from Axios. Now retreats like a tortoise head back into the shell. Panic Attack doing most of the work now. And flipping Axios up and over. I don't know if Axios suddenly lacked control there, or something went wrong, but it stood stock still and has paid the penalty. In came Panic Attack. There go the lifting spikes, up and over. And Axios heading towards oblivion. Oh, out comes the tongue. Sticks and stones may break my bones. You can do whatever you want and gestures and poke your tongue out at me, but this is what happens. In comes the house robot. This is Dead Metal. Oh, look at that ripping at the side of Axios. They say that Axios can crush its opponents like a sandwich toaster. I've never, well, had anything crushed by a sandwich toaster. Look at now! Panic Attack attacking Matilda. Great stuff, Matilda, but it's side up and over. Matilda won't like this. Lost its body shell.
Cease.
We loved it though. Axios out, and Matilda will remember Panic Attack for the next time. That's for sure. The speed of the toe cutter blade is fearsome. Will their control be adept? And Panic Attack with the blinking light, hoping to turn the lights out on Toe Cutter. For a place in the heat final. Immediately, Toe Cutter turning side on so that the blade can have full whip against Panic Attack. Panic Attack's main weaponry here. Those front prongs to get in underneath Toe Cutter immediately, and therefore immobilising the blade. That is a very, very good technique from Kim Davis. Good control, good style. Brains behind there, Brawn. Digging in on the arena floor, Panic Attack. Once again, to get the prongs in underneath Toe Cutter. Oh, did you just see that blade flick out like a viper's tongue on Toe Cutter? It does move so quickly. Hardly the speed of sound, which the Toe Cutter boys would have you believe, probably. As quick as Space Rocket, as quick as Concorde, as quick as the quickest thing. Panic Attack now, in underneath Toe Cutter, and there goes the old flashing, blinking light of Panic Attack on the arena floor, but almost doing its job and turning Toe Cutter up and over. Tremendous heat semi-final this. The reigning champions. Difficult work against Toe Cutter. But I think the more aggressive of the two robots so far. What do you think? Certainly the Toe Cutter blade is formidable, it's fearsome. one of the deadliest weapons we've ever seen in Robot Wars. But for me, Panic Attack is the more mobile bot here. And again on the attack, pushing Toe Cutter up on its side. And up and over! Panic Attack! They think they're through, and Toe Cutter immobilised. The flashing blade cuts no more, and Panic Attack cutting and etching another name emblazoned in the Robot Wars honours list, I'm sure. Look at the damage now to Toe Cutter from Dead Metal's horrible circular saw, and Panic Attack promised to take on the House Robots, and they've done just that again. This time Sergeant Bash. So you take on my buddy Bash and I'll come in, says Dead Metal. Killalot having some fun as well. In the distance on Toe Cutter, this is Bash on Panic Attack. Look at Killalot there on the left as well. Toe Cutter's dead and buried. Finished. And Panic Attack is leaving a legacy here with the House Robots. They will not forget. Onto the arena spikes. Toe Cutter's blade, once a Viper's tongue, is now lolling hopelessly out of its groove. And Panic Attack dancing with Sergeant Bash as Killalot tries to rip Toe Cutter to shreds. What went wrong with Toe Cutter? Panic Attack, brilliant steering right from the start of the heat. There's the lance and drill of Killalot. There's Bash coming and trying to nip the blade off. Ooh, is it strong enough? No, the blade, the tongue if you like, is bent and buckled like the hopes of Toe Cutter.
Roboteers, stand by.
To take on the reigning champions, Exterminator. There are the controls, Marlon Pritchard and Paul Lewis. And there are the Kings. Panic Attack, Kim Davis at the controls, and young Michael.
Activate.
Kim loves his photography. Well, he wants a snap of himself on the victor's rostrum again, but it's Exterminator with the pickaxe. Spike coming down on the attack of Panic Attack early on. Spinning Kim Davis. Just to baffle Exterminator. Prepare to be terminated, says the slogan on the back. Tall Exterminator, 94.5 centimetres in height. Panic Attack, certainly more manoeuvrable, but by far actually the slower of the two robots in a race, and now being pushed across the arena floor by Exterminator. Slightly the lighter of the two, Exterminator, about a kilo lighter, no more than that. But the stronger it would seem, slamming Panic Attack on the arena wall. And it's Exterminator's spike, which has been a key feature of this heat. Right from the very start, the first battle against Hefty. And what can Panic Attack do here now? Needs to catch Exterminator out, attack side on, but lost an opportunity there. Exterminator again, crashes the spike down, bashes Panic Attack against the arena wall and towards Sergeant Bash, and the champions are in trouble here now. Sergeant Bash has them gripped, Panic Attack turning away. Exterminator comes in and slams Bash. That's a risky manoeuvre. And all this time, Panic Attack can't get those front spikes into action. There we can see the front camera again on shunt. That's a better move by Panic Attack. Now can they turn Exterminator up and over? This could be crucial. A crucial moment. Exterminator rolling. Goodness me, very, very lucky. Went piggyback up and over and came down right side up. Now it's Panic Attack on the aggressive. In comes Killalot. What a heat final this is. Panic. You might be in a couple of moments, champs, because Killalot has you gripped. But meanwhile, Exterminator is up on its side. Have they been immobilised here? Kim Davis looks grim. But I think Exterminator has been immobilised. Well, you can still see the tracks are spinning underneath, but they are very worried. The lights are on, but there's no one at home, boys. In comes Panic Attack again, Exterminator. They're trying to get righted once again. Well, Panic Attack, this is a performance of champions. Exterminator now being pursued, harangued and harassed by the horrible house robots. Off goes the chain, and that is the end now for Exterminator. Started so strongly in this heat final. Oh dear, they know it. They know they've done magnificently to get this far, but it's all over for them. Chained to the house robots, shunt slams, kill-a-lot pulls, taunts, teases, torments, tortures. Terminated, yes, you have been. And Panic Attack, I thought had been beaten, but it's Panic Attack who go through to the series semi-finals. What went wrong with Exterminator? Well, that's key. Look at the CO2 gas escaping. And that was the end of their their self-running mechanism. And that's why Panic Attack have won it. Exterminator, when flicked up and over on its side, without the Shremek powered by the CO2 canister, which must have been punctured, they lacked the ability to right themselves. And that's when the house robots killed off their dreams. Exterminated.
Roboteers, stand by.
Kim Davis and Michael from Wales and from Surrey.
3.
Thing 2 with Nick, Isabel and Jake Adams.
Activate.
Trundling forward Thing 2 with this array of weaponry, more for show than anything else. Panic Attack, solid, dependable. The lifting spikes also deadly. That's good driving away from Matilda and also Thing 2 from Panic Attack. Now we'll spin and try and come on the attack again. All the aggression so far from Thing 2 though. And this is a good clash here. Thing 2 using the rear spike. Don't forget that can lift as well. The eyes gleam. Brilliant decoration on Thing 2. A lot of work has gone into this robot and the rest of the series. Thing 2 took 12 weeks to construct. Panic Attack here again, of course, in the semi-finals, and Thing 2 up and over. The wheels spin aimlessly. Can it right itself now? Actor S. Fabula. Exactly, no idea. The spike, useless now for Thing 2. This, surely, the moment when Panic Attack made it through. Beyond this stage, bouncing Thing 2 up and over. Using really the momentum of the arena floor spike 2. In comes Dead Metal. With that circular saw onto the tyres of Thing 2. Isabel and Nick, her dad, desperately trying to get Thing 2 moving again. Oh, look at that! The tyre is smoking and shredded there. Oh, and again, a horrible squeal. Oh, poor Isabel. Knows that it's all over for Thing 2. Kill-a-lot, looking on. Dead Metal saw. And pincers have Thing 2 well in its grasp. And all that Kim Davis needs to do, bad driver and all, is stay out of trouble now as Panic Attack go through.
Well, Thing comes a cropper on the spike. Thing is now a thing of the past. Our reigning champion, Panic Attack, goes through. The winner is Panic Attack!
Kim Davis and Michael Davis. Michael, you are a BSRP, a backseat robot here. Pain criticising your dad's driving. Graham Bone and Alex Mordew in the Firestorm team. And there is Firestorm. There is Alex Mordew at the controls. And of course, Panic Attack, the reigning champions.
2, 1, activate.
Good old battle this, you know. Panic Attack so steady. They spin to try and throw opponents off the scent. Firestorm nudging Panic Attack towards a CPZ. And that is poor driving by Kim to get in there, because you go in the CPZ and a house robot like Bash there can grab hold of you and punish you. And Panic Attack being lifted by Firestorm. Firestorm there on the right. A clash of reds and yellows out there. Splendidly coloured. Panic Attack's main weapon, of course, those front spikes. Firestorm driving in. Now the spikes underneath Firestorm. Firestorm just getting away, though. And don't forget, we've seen opponents of Panic Attack foolishly riding up on the side of the reigning champions and being flipped up and over so far. Firestorm on the attack once again with the wedge and the lifting arm sticking out there. Comes out with great speed, but something's been bent on the front there of Firestorm. I don't know if you notice it. The armour flat there. And I think that will prevent the wedge getting in underneath Panic Attack. But Panic Attack flicked up by the arena spike. In underneath. Firestorm goes. You can see the bent front of Firestorm, but Panic Attack on its side now. And on the arena wall, bouncing down. Has its own arms to push itself off the arena. There's Panic Attack. Now pushing on Firestorm again. Ooh, in towards Kill-A-Lot with the lance protruding. Kim Davis is doing everything he possibly can to drive Panic Attack into the troubled zones here. Wonder what damage has been sustained by Firestorm. You can see its crumpled front. Panic Attack in trying to push Firestorm into Kill-A-Lot has caused itself problems again. Firestorm side on, but Panic Attack, that's good steering by Kim to prevent Firestorm coming inside on. They love the old CPZs, these two, don't they? I think it's cat and mouse here, trying to drag each other into the corner patrol zones. Panic Attack now in underneath Firestorm, which has shown very quick reactions and speed around the arena. And again, quickly away. Time ticking down, though. It needs a fast finish, otherwise it's going to go to the judges and marks on control, style, damage, and aggression.
Cease. Well, they both set the stage alight, but one team are going to go out in a blaze of glory while our judges are making a decision. Let's look at the highlights.
Watch for aggression here, then. Firestorm pushing Panic Attack on to bash the house robot. Also look for damage sustained. Look for control driving. Panic Attack wayward and sluggardly there on the arena floor. Again, more aggression from Firestorm. A little bit of damage sustained to Panic Attack. Style on the arena floor. Who was the more stylish of the two robots? I don't have to decide. The judges, of course, do.
It's a unanimous decision, and it goes to Firestorm!
From Wales, Panic Attack.
The winners of the second series of British Wars. It's been rebuilt 4 times since, with lifting spikes imported from Sweden. Can push and lift its own weight, is enough to create panic in every attack.
My name's Kim Davis. This is my son Michael, and we're representing Wales. This is our robot, Panic Attack. We have electric lifting spikes, which should be able to lift the opponents, and we can also self-right with our self-righting mechanism.
From England, 101.
The carbon dioxide-powered ramming spike's crucial here. It'll fire automatically on contact with a target and can penetrate steel plate. The robot cost a maximum 101 pence to build.
I'm Mike Franklin. This is Amy, my daughter, Super Bunny, and 101, and we're going to fight for England. We've got an awesome beast with caterpillar tracks, a big weapon at the front, and some big powerful motors.
Roboteers, stand by.
Powerful enough to beat Panic Attack, I wonder? With Kim Davis and son Michael there. 101 with Mike, daughter Amy, and Super Bunny. And they'll need plenty of hop here to get beyond Panic Attack and those lifting rams. Took only a week to rebuild Panic Attack first time around from its success in the second series of British Wars, but it's been rebuilt 4 times in all for perfection and lifting and throwing 101. Look at this. As something comes flying off, I think it's actually off the top of Panic Attack, only superficial, and then through 101. I think that was only a superficial nut or bolt on the top of Panic Attack, and to me, 101 is already out, immobilised. They're trying to get the tracks to spin. Mike at the controls, he's built a model jet engine in the past. He needs something to fly now for 101. Oh! Panic Attack's driven itself into the pit! And 101 survives!
Cease.
Well, 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 Panic Attack threw themselves down there. Look at this. Kim Davis drove himself into the pit, and 101 lucky enough to just stay out. 101 go through, Panic Attack out. That's a major surprise. Next up, Chaos 2 against Kilohertz.
And seed number 4, Panic Attack.
Don't panic! This is
is a sturdy machine protected by bulletproof fiberglass and at 80.6 kilos, the heaviest in the heat. No blades or knives, but forks, electrically powered, can raise hopes. Champions of the second series, but in the third wars, they beat Axios, Toe Cutter and Exterminator and looked good until Firestorm beat them in the semis.
Hello, we're Team Panic Attack. My name's Kim Davis, this is my son Michael, and this is Christian, and this is our robot Panic Attack. We're back from the previous wars with a new chassis. We have skirts to stop other robots getting underneath. We have our self-righting mechanism. We have our weapon, which is very powerful. We've done it before, and we're going to do it again.
From Western Supermare, Overkill GTI line.
Goes into overdrive with the power from Caravan winch motors, protected with the same insulation used in race drivers' overalls, so the same specs as nuclear power stations and space travel. Get into orbit in Series 3? No, they didn't even get past the first round. 101 were too destructive for Overkill. Now they're GTI, can they go one step further?
My name's Lawrence, this is Laurie, and this is James, and this is Overkill. From the last wars, we had a weapon which was a petrol chainsaw. This year, we have pneumatic rams, 2 of, which combined give 7,500 newtons. This should be enough to throw another robot clean into the air.
From Maidstone in Kent, Smithy.
The name means, sorry mate, I didn't see you. The power from 2 motors, the wheels from go-karts. The jaw weapon is operated by a luxury car seat actuator, but in the last series they had radio signal problems. That meant they went out to Ratus. Despite looking good, promising, it was the end for Smithy.
Hi, I'm Mike from Team Ixion. This is Robin and Andy and his Smidsy. Upgraded from the last war, we've got titanium side panels instead of aluminium. We've lowered the gearing so it'll steer better. The jaw motor is powerful enough to lift another robot up while we're pushing along. We can run right way up or upside down. We've got spikes on the back to do extra damage. Called Smidsy. Sorry mate, I didn't see you. If you're a biker or a cyclist, you know exactly what that means.
Roboteers, stand by.
Overkill, GTI, Laurie Burke with the fair hair and James Yule at the controls. Laurie's dad, Lawrence, watching on from the audience. Smidsy. The internet team there at the controls, Robin Bennett with the glasses, and Panic Attack with Kim Davis. Very good driver, and the 2 boys, Michael Davis, his son, and Christian Bridge.
3, 2, 1.
Young Christian actually won a competition to take part in the Panic Attack team and nudged there on Overkill immediately from the front lifting forks. We've seen them before in the wars. Now on the attack on Overkill again was Smidsy, and look at the damage caused here to the arena floor. A great chunk taken out. Please replace your divots, Overkill GTI. Trying to get back in favour with the judges on the attack on Panic Attack and also on Smidsy. Don't forget Smidsy can run upside down. Panic Attack wedging Overkill against the side spike now. That's a good attack by Panic Attack. As I said before, Kim Davis is one of the most respected drivers in the wars. Here he is, nudging Smidsy. Overkill still wedged on the arena wall. In comes Matilda. Overkill going nowhere at this moment in time. Lifted up by Panic Attack. Tremendously powerful, those forklifts. Overkill a little bit fortunate to get away. Still alive, Smidsy the meat in the sandwich there, and flipped over, that won't bother them. Overkill away from the flame pit, little lick of flame there, but they're okay. Overkill, and don't forget, they are inflammable, they tell us. The motor's rewound with Teflon and Nomex insulation. Overkill trying to use its Shrinek on the arena sidewall to get away. I'm not too sure if they can for all the insulation. They're stuck, aren't they? Panic Attack, a little nudge. Down comes Overkill. We're a bit fortunate to get away there. From the controls, the bearded Mike Reed looking out. This is Overkill onto the arena wall, and Dead Metal coming in, and the saw, the circular saw blade comes down now onto Overkill GTI. Panic Carbonate and steel body at the moment withstanding that pressure. Smidsy pushes away. Panic Attack where they simply reversing to come in with another slam on Smidsy. Panic Attack doing all the aggressive work here. If you had to pick the most
troubled robot of these three. I go for Overkill. They're being pushed against the arena wall right now, down towards the CPZ, the corner patrol zone. Don't forget that's where the house robots live. You go in there, they can attack you. And that's Killalot nearly attacking Smitzy again. Overkill is one of those tyres been punctured. They seem rather lopsided. Get into the hard shoulder, boys. Call out one of the rescue services. I think you're going to need them. Panic Attack. A bit of a tug of war with Smitzy. They've been impressive so far with Robin Bennett, a computer controller, computer programmer at those controls. Now this is Panic Attack just away from Sergeant Bash, away from the arena wall, and that's the first time we've seen the Smitzy jaws operated, and it goes to the judges. Very close for all three teams. There they are, they'll deliberate. We'll count up the marks for style, control, damage and aggression. What clues have you got? Well, that's Overkill being slammed against the arena wall. Smitzy using the jaws very late on. Gonna be close, isn't it?
Well, the judgment's in, and it's over and out for Overkill.
Stand by.
Panic Attack, winners of the second wars. There's Kim Davis, very experienced, and Sore Point. Oh, Bossy Britches in the pits there. Go on, boys, get out into the arena.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Panic Attack's tactics here, quite clear, I would imagine. Get in, get underneath, flip it up and over. But look at the power there of Sore Point. And Panic Attack couldn't get in underneath the wedge first time. Can do with a second assault, though. Sore Point on its side, and the prong is crumpled and bent by the attack of Panic Attack. Look at that! I think the prong on the wheel of Sore Point was dug into the arena surface, and Panic Attack has really bent and buckled it. Now onto the arena side wall. Sore Point up, up, heave-ho! Here we go! Weep and woe for Sore Point, surely. Kim Davis, like a dog with a bone, will not give up now. Sore Point riding piggyback. They need to ride shotgun here and get back in on the assault. Panic Attack very much under control here. They've glued themselves on to Sore Point. They will not let go now. There's Kim Davis at the controls. His son Michael from Llantarnam Comprehensive looks on, and Christian Bridge, the newcomer from King's School in Macclesfield, delighted because they know Sore Point, brave newcomers, have been beaten here. Sore Point, there's smoke there from the arena. Man trap. It's a bot trap, of course, in Robot Wars. Sore Point, beaten, bruised, buckled. Love the invention, though, of Stephen Thomas, the communications engineer, and Damien Smith, who helped design the robot, did the graphics for Sore Point as well. This is Dead Metal, of course. A pincer movement from the house robots. They now know Sore Point, Stephen Thomas, and Damien Smith, you belong to them. Dead Metal on the right and Killalot on the left. And Sore Point being tugged and twisted between the two. There they go, towards the pit. And doom and disaster. Well, no, not for me for Sore Point, because they've been great fun. And I hope we see them back again in the future. Panic Attack on the attack on Killalot. And Killalot will remember that, Kim Davis, you can be sure. Sore Point, of course, beaten and out of it. Kim Davis, Michael and Christian go through. Killalot has a little glance at Panic Attack, and they can only watch on as the Welsh boys attack Shunt and the house robots. In comes Bash. What are you doing, Panic Attack? You may smile. We'll be smiling on the other side of our faces. You wait and see.
From Cwmbran and seed number 4, Panic Attack.
Was there a nervousness about the number 4 seeds from Wales?
Maidstone in Kent, Smitzy.
There's certainly a confidence about these boys. Andy Pugh, we heard him speak a moment ago from Sheffield University. He's in the engineering department.
Stand by.
That's Panic Attack. with the front lifting forks, Kim Davis, his son Michael and Christian Bridge, and Smithy. There on the right-hand side, Mike Reed. Andy in the middle, Robin Bennett on the left-hand side. He'll drive the machine.
2, 1, activate.
He once built inflatable helicopter blades, Robin Bennett. Yeah, try and work that one out. This is Smithy on the attack straight away against the number 4 seeds. They've got those new skirts down the side in this series to stop other robots getting in underneath Panic Attack. Improvements all the while from Kim Davis. Letting the fingers do the talking there very quickly. Smithy up and over, but again direct, aggressive. Panic Attack wants to draw Smithy on towards an arena wall, I would suggest, so they can get in, flick him up and over and out. The moment Panic Attack just holding the arena centre, I think they're trying to draw Smithy in here, Kim Davis. Now pushing towards the CPZ. There's Robin at the controls, the computer programmer. Again, driving at Panic Attack. Not even at the moment. Smithy the more aggressive. Perhaps Panic Attack the more controlled. Style, control, damage, aggression. That's what the judges will mark on. Should it go to them? Will it go to them? Smithy away from Panic Attack. It's cagey stuff. Panic Attack now in the grip. What dead metal. That'll count against Kim Davis. Smithy nearly got themselves into trouble. They have a big fan club here, look. Smithy, we haven't really seen the jaws work, have we, so far? But I do think they've done ever so well. They had radio signal problems in the last series. Better this time around, but now Panic Attack. Oh, aggressive, and look! They've got the forks impaled in the wheel housing of Smithy. The wheels from go-karts. A little bit of a gap around them. And Panic Attack and Kim Davis have found that gap. And now that could be the single most decisive moment of this entire heat. Panic Attack saw the opportunity, wait for it, and poor old Smithy impaled and being dragged around the arena. And while they are dragged around, they are simply open for anything Panic Attack wants to do. The jaws open wide. You see they're trying to get those jaws down to act as some sort of spring to right themselves. They've eventually got themselves clear anyway. I thought they had, but back comes Panic Attack. Maybe Smithy have been immobilised here. They're certainly being dragged towards the pit. I think they have been immobilised. Oh, they look so promising. But the heat final belongs to Panic Attack and not to those Smithy boys. The number 4 seeds have won it. Can our champions from the Second Wars go all the way again?
Roboteers, stand by.
Those hard Essex lads with spawn of Scudder. That's Luke Jackman in the middle at the controls, and Panic Attack from Wales. Kim Davis at the controls, Robot Wars veteran. Rather much fated. Panic Attack moves up rather nervously. Spawn of Scudder backing on, it would seem. A little bit of a piggyback. Lifted up by those electric lifting forks of Panic Attack. In this series, they have additional skirts on the side. You see them there, the yellow and black striped skirts for extra protection. Driving Spawn of Scudder into the CPZ so that Shunt can have a little go with the axe. Spawn of Scudder quick to respond though, gets away. That's the full frontal collision there, head on against Panic Attack. Just saw the little pneumatic flipping spike coming out there at the front of Spawn of Scudder. Again, Panic Attack driving on towards the arena wall. Good start here by Panic Attack. And if they can get in underneath now, they can actually flip Spawn of Scudder up and out of the arena. Can they get enough purchase there on Spawn of Scudder? And can Scudder right itself? It has no true Streamex self-running mechanism. And look at the house robots all waiting to respond and come in. They're poised like vultures to come in for the kill. Look at them, they're all there. Killalot and Dead Metal and Sergeant Bash and Shunt. Predators to pick up the pieces of the carnage of this Robot Wars semi-final battle. It's all over for Spawn of Scudder. They've been immobilised too long. They couldn't get enough purchase on the arena floor despite the spiked front wheels brought in. They were slammed against the arena sidewalls. They couldn't right themselves. And now, of course, they are at the mercy of our house robots. There's the Sergeant. A lick of flame will do quite nicely, thank you very much. For the Scudder boys, hard as nails and twice as easy to hammer. And look at Panic Attack, taking on the house robots, taking on Shunt, and Killalot didn't like it at all. There's Dead Metal, meanwhile, back on Spawn of Scudder. The pit of gloom and doom and oblivion descends That's where we're going to send Sport of Scudder, but where will Panic Attack send the house robots? Gripped onto Shunt. This is Batter course. Now what is that coming out of Killalot? We heard earlier on that Killalot loves to take a leak here and there, and that's what's happening on the arena floor, I'm afraid. Spewing out some sort of fluid all over the place. Spawn of Scudder will say goodbye to their competition hopes. Great battle. But I'm more worried about my pal Killalot, I must admit. Get some sort of Robot Wars medic down there. Sort out my hero.
Spawn of Scudder just not strong enough. Panic Attack go through.
Stand by.
Stinger. What can the boys do here? Kevin Scott, Carl Skinner and Tim Mann. Kevin at the controls against Panic Attack with the experienced Kim Davis, his son Michael from Clantarnham Comprehensive. Christian Bridge in that team as well. This for a place in the series final, don't forget. Panic Attack 2. Been there before, of course. Just moving forward, cursory fashion, against Stinger. Stinger with the heavier weighted weapon. Panic Attack have those lifting forks. Couldn't get any purchase on Stinger. They have their own fan club, of course. Panic Attack a little ram against the arena's sidewall. Stinger, as they whiz around like that, Stinger, they can get a lot of momentum behind that weapon, and it becomes almost like a pendulum with force, also with venom. Panic Attack now, moving. Well, I thought to try and get it a broadside perhaps and attack the wheels, flick it up and over, but again, good driving by Stinger and Kevin Scott. This is Panic Attack, trying to use those forks again, look. Stinger moving in a more wild pattern than Panic Attack. Steadier progress by Kim Davis now. In and out of a CPZ very quickly, so Matilda couldn't get any grip on the Welsh robot. Panic Attack seems to have a scheme. Stinger seems to want to swing and spin around to get that axe, as I was mentioning, like a pendulum, coming down with force. Comes down again. Shell steel of Stinger's wheel hubcaps. Not bruised in any way, I don't think. Scratch maybe, but not sustaining any real damage. Oh, and did Panic Attack go through with an attack there and just edge into a CPZ? Stinger against the arena side wall. Panic Attack now has gone into the CPZ. Matilda can come out. Grabs on a Stinger. Stinger thrust back in, almost onto the back of Panic Attack. This is close, and I think this one could well go to the judges, says Kim Davis at controls of Panic Attack, and there's Kevin Scott, you just seen the controls of Stinger. Again, riding piggyback fashion. Panic Attack doing more of the work now. Aggression, very important. Should it go to the judges? A lick of flame. Haven't seen anyone test those wheels of Stinger on customised motorbike frames. Tap at the top of Panic Attack. Rat-a-tat-tat. To remind Panic Attack they're still there. It's going to go to the judges. It's close, isn't it? I think they've done enough. Just.
Well, should Panic Attack panic? Will Stinger be stung? It's all down to the judges.
For the first time in this semi-final, they're called upon then. Let's see what they'll be reviewing. Stinger, first attack, and 2. Panic Attack, this time, though, comes back. Stinger swings wildly. Was Panic Attack the more controlled robot? Did they finish the stronger? I think they did.
Incredibly, the judges are unanimous. But again, there's only 1 point in it. Remember, they're looking at style, control, damage and aggression. And on aggression, they've gone for Stinger! Listen to that crowd. The crowd don't agree. The crowd is split down the middle. You've got the people shouting Stinger, and you've got people booing the decision from the Panic Attack crowd. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think it's right. His weapon is naturally more aggressive. There wasn't a lot we could do with him, except pushing him around.
He's such a difficult robot to fight, isn't he?
It's awful. And every time we got him, he would just slip out of our grasp.
And unless you get him out of the arena...
Exactly.
That's the only way to win against him, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're going to hope that his motor's burned down or something like that.
Yeah, well, next year we'll have pneumatics and fire them out the arena.
You're gutted, you, aren't you? You're close to tears. Don't you worry about it, though. A gallant effort, you're always lovely to have, and we'll have you back next year, won't we?
Yes.
Bigger, better. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, here for Panic Attack.
From Cwmbran and seed number 4, Panic Attack.
Good robot, good competitors, Kim Davis, young Michael and Christian Bridge. Panic Attack, low centre of gravity, 80.6 kilos, good weight to take on Shunt.
Roboteers, stand by.
Good driver as well, Kim Davis.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Maintenance manager by trade takes on Shunt. Ooh, brinkmanship from Panic Attack, right on the edge. Getting away from Shunt. This is a viable tactic. Dodge Shunt, stay away from him. You don't want to get close up to that bulldozer scoop. And this isn't bad so far by Panic Attack. Oh, very nearly out! And Shunt goes! Panic Attack threw Shunt on. I think Shunt hit the ground first, which means Panic Attack could be the new leaders. If Shunt hit the ground first, let's have a look. Panic Attack certainly went out, but the question is, did Shunt hit the ground first? Because if they did, they did! Panic Attack will be the new leaders. They've done it! They drew Shunt on, more by luck than judgment, I would suggest, but there you have it. Shunt hit the ground first, and Panic Attack will be the new leaders, even though they're a little bit fluky. Confirmed champions of the 4th series of Robot Wars at Sumo Basho. Panic Attack, the only robot to push Shunt out of the arena. Brilliant.
From Miami, Ramstein.
A spiky Florida Marlin then, 209.2 pounds heavy, an experienced team. One of them, Corey Chine's a rocket scientist. They've recently tried to shed weight on the robot.
Hi, my name is Alex Espinosa, team captain of Team Ramstein. To my left I have Eddie Ampuero, then Corey Klein and Nola Garcia. Our 50 member, Julio Roqueta, is not here in person, but is on our robot. Ramstein consists of 207 pounds of pure power. It has 4 motors with 4 transmissions and 4 speed controllers to drive one very sharp, very hard steel spike through any opponent.
From Cwmbran, Panic Attack.
Bulletproof fiberglass means no need to panic. Electric lifting forks mean plenty of attack. Semi-finalists in Series 3 of the UK Robot Wars Championships, they won Series 2. And this is how they did it against Cassius. Firm favourites with many. And this was a shock. Cassius pitted Panic Attack with the champions.
Hello, we're Team Panic Attack. My name's Kim Davis, this is my son Michael, and this is our new team member Christian. And this is a robot Panic Attack, and we're going to take back the title of the War of Independence from the Americans.
Roboteers, stand by.
Ramstein with Alex Espinosa at the controls, engineering student at Florida International University. And Panic Attack, Kim Davis, a maintenance manager at the controls, Michael, his son there.
1, activate.
Panic Attack, really worthy opponents, whether it be domestically or on the international stage. Robot Wars veterans, you can see there the lifting forks at the front, the spike of Ramstein will need a great deal of power to penetrate Panic Attack, I think. At the moment, it's no more than a nudge and a scratch. That will not do any damage whatsoever to the aluminium polycarbonate and bulletproof fibre shell of Panic Attack. A little bit of a nudging contest going on. Perhaps they're feeling each other straight out, and immediately Panic Attack levering Ramstein up and onto its side and over. They can roll both sides up, Ramstein. It's not technically a SREMEC, a self-righting mechanism, as we've seen before in Robot Wars, but they can roll either side up. That is also a design used by many, many competitors, by the way. Panic Attack coming in with the forks again. What Ramstein may find, if they go up on their side, they will not be able to right at all, and they will be out. And I think that is what Kim Davis is trying to do with Panic Attack now. Trying to lever them up on its side. Well, they want it to go in the pitch. It's the pitch! You're the pitch! The USA! Chalk dust! No, can't see any of that, but in the pits! Up and over! Ramstein will be back. On the attack, on Panic Attack, itself. Hey, up and over, that's great stuff. Go on. Lift him to our own, very own Grand Canyon on the arena floor. That's where they want Ramstein to go. You see, our Robot Wars arena audience are very neutral. UK or USA, they're neutral. Get the States into the pits, that's what they're saying. Well done, Kim Davis. Another victory for the UK.
Roboteers, stand by.
Real grudge match, this Panic Attack with the lifters. There's Kim Davis at the controls, his son Michael and Christian Bridge with them, and there's Mortis, Rob Knight at the controls with Arthur Chilcott.
3, 2, 1.
Great competitor over the years with Mortis and Rob Knight. They've taken some stick to the crowd, I know, but they always come back, and they're always fearsomely courageous and very competitive. And look at that axe. And don't forget, they've got the lifting arm as well, but not as powerful as Panic Attack forklifters. In underneath them, what they'll try and do is get those forks, do you see, plucked up underneath the tracks of Mortis. Try and pluck away the tracks, leaving him immobile and, of course, then beaten. Mortis gets away. Side on now. Broadside attack on Panic Attack with the axe once more. Mortis. Kim Davis is one of the best, most erudite of drivers in Robot Wars. Great style and control. Always has shown it, but pushed back to the CPZ dangerously. And in reverse, perhaps getting away, dragging Mortis. Or was that a Mortis shove? The axe is impaled on Panic Attack right there in the very heart of Panic Attack. Now, can Kim control the attack back into serious contention? Because at the moment, I would say Mortis has been the more aggressive of the two. Over the top of Panic Attack, you can almost smell the sulphur of the flames, feel the burn. Panic Attack in underneath. Mortis trying to shove it there towards the CPZ, and Sir Killalot awaits. That was a Panic Attack drive, and Sir Killalot comes in with a mighty pincers and lifts Mortis up, shows it to the arena crowd. That was worthy tactics from Panic Attack. Pushing Mortis back in, comes down with a bash, crash back down to earth. In comes Panic Attack again. Don't panic! Don't panic, Mr. Mortis! Panic Attack's on the attack. With a slam of the axe. Oh, something's come off there. I think it was superficial only. But look at this, Panic Attack trying to free itself using the forks. And no, the repetitive drive of that Mortis axe. Great strength by Panic Attack, forcing it back onto the arena side wall. This is very even, you know. It could well go to the judges as to who makes the War of Independence final. We will have a UK flag in that final, of course, guaranteed. Panic Attacks backing on to Mortis. It will go to the judges, and it was very, very close. Too close for me to call. They'll judge on style, control, damage and aggression. Martin Smith, Professor Noel Sharkey there in the middle, and Dr. Myra Wilson on the right. So let's count the points together. A good Panic Attack. But back come Mortis. Who's on top there? Mortis or Panic Attack driving Mortis into the arena wall. Certainly good thrust from the axe. But then Panic Attack drove Mortis into the CPZ. Was that decisive?
Well, we have a decision. It couldn't be any closer. There's only 1 point in it. But through to the final, fighting for Britain in the War of Independence, is Mortis! Listen to that hostile crowd. They're on your side. They wanted you to go through.
Well, maybe we drove better and pushed them about, but their axe did more damage.
Yeah, they did a bit more damage, and they were very aggressive, weren't they? That axe can hit quite fast, can't it?
Yeah.
Didn't really penetrate you, though, did it?
No.
You upset?
No.
No?
No.
Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, we've really enjoyed it.
And you never know, we still might get to beat the Yanks, might we?
Well, I think we'll definitely beat the Yanks.
Nothing wrong with a bit of xenophobia.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Panic Attack!
Hill, Panic Attack.
0 ground clearance, 0 turning circle, lifting forks, champions of the Second Wars, twice semi-finalists, polycarbonate and bulletproof fiberglass shell. Why the need to panic? No need at all.
From Belmont, Exterminator.
At 99 kilos, just the heavier, low centre of gravity, strong base and axe, but sometimes I think it's too quick for its own good at 25 miles an hour. But what power! There's Panic Attack from Wales. The experienced Kim Davis at the controls with his son Michael and Christian Bridge, both 12 years of age, and Exterminator, Marlon Pritchard, the team captain, an instrument engineer. There next to him, Paul Lewis and Simon Baldwin. Panic Attack, winners of the Second Wars, immediately under pressure from Exterminator, or were they? They flipped Exterminator over. Exterminator can self-right. Kim Davis, piqued by the attacks on his reputation, they beat Exterminator in Series 3 and indeed in the Sumo. Exterminator didn't like it, hence the vengeance match here. And Panic Attack have pressed the release button so that the pit of oblivion will soon descend. And from the look of it, Exterminator will be in that pit of oblivion, trying to claw their way back into a vibrant battle here, and just about doing so. The axe helping out. Deathbot has a look. Panic Attack gets the forklift underneath Exterminator. Exterminator backing away. Meanwhile, Panic Attack shoved onto Dead Metal to kill a lot in that top corner. Panic Attack dodging away from Exterminator. Whoa, very close to the pit. Don't want to get too close in there. Raising Exterminator up with the great prongs, turning Exterminator around. 2 lorry windscreen wiper motors help power Panic Attack onto the attack, nudging Exterminator towards the pit. But will they go in themselves? No! Hanging on, dumping Exterminator. Good technique, good driving skills by Kim Davis once again, this time in Robot Wars Extreme.
From Durham, Firestorm 3.
A wedge-shaped robot with the flipping arm, just the heavier here at 100 kilos, the faster too at 12 miles an hour, electric power to ignite our Firestorm.
Hello, my name is Graham Bone, this is Alex Mordew, and the newest member of the team, Hazel Heslop. This is our robot Firestorm. We're back for another Wars, revamped, ready to go again, ready to do what we can, ready to win.
From Thornhill, Panic Attack.
Wearing protective skirts this time around, the weapon can lift and grab. 2 lorry windscreen motors provide the power. This machine's never failed to reach at least the semi-finals of the main Robot Wars.
Hello, we're Team Panic Attack. My name's Kim Davis, this is my son Michael, and this is Christian. This is our robot Panic Attack. This year, we're here to cause some serious damage. We're going to mangle, maim, and crush.
And for a feistier fight, we've thrown in our house robot pair, Dead Metal, all crushing arms and flashing saw. And the mighty Sir Killalot with a lance. He's in no mood to dance and prance.
Roboteers, stand by.
Firestorm team there. Graham Bone, Alex Mordew and Hazel Heslop. They're the Panic Attack boys. Strong start by Panic Attack, immediately on the attack, but is that dangerous because they've gone over the top of Firestorm, and Firestorm 3 using that pneumatic flipper straight away. And Panic Attack in trouble here. It was almost like a suicidal lunge at Firestorm 3, flicking Panic Attack up and over, rocking and crashing. It's using its forklift weapons to try and right here with Kim Davis at the controls. He's a maintenance manager by trade, but driven onto the arena sidewall by Firestorm 3. You can see Graham Bone at the controls there using that pneumatic flipper to pin Panic Attack onto the side walls. And Panic Attack in real trouble here in this All-Stars clash for a place, don't forget, in the All-Stars quarterfinals. There's Dead Metal and also Killalot. Dead Metal on the slam. I think trying to thrust, to be honest. Panic Attack out of the arena. Also taking a cursory nudge is Firestorm. There, once again, getting completely in underneath, actually. slipping away through, but into the CPZ, which is dangerous, because the house robots can move in there. Refbot having a look. How long has Panic Attack been immobilised? Is Panic Attack immobilised? The forklift is waggling, but it is being counted down and counted out here, Panic Attack. And Firestorm 3 has done it again to the attack boys.
Cease. From Germany, Flensburg Power.
A green machine powered by a windscreen wiper motor. But I can't see any damage raining down from this. But all power to your elbow if you can prove me wrong.
From the United States of America, Manta.
A six-wheel drive fighting machine, stealthy, looking very fast at 20 miles an hour. A carbide ramming point in the rear and spinning case-hardened steel blade hammer in front provide the weaponry.
From Holland, Maximil.
Took a year to design and build. When it stands up, it looks like a windmill. Cost £1,000. The windmill creates kinetic energy with sharp steel juts at 500 rotations a minute, spinning wildly.
From Thornhill in Cwmbran, Gwent, Panic Attack.
This is a modification of the previously successful Panic Attack robot. Now with the skirts on the side, the electric pneumatic lifting fork can also grab, powered by 2 lorry windscreen wipers. Our 2 house robots thrown in. Matilda with the tusks and spinning flywheel, making her an attractive force. Attractive, are you sure? And Shunt with the bulldozer and diamond-edged axe. Diamonds are a bot's best friend.
Musketeers, stand by. 3, 2, 1.
Panic Attack nudging down towards Flensburger Power. There's Maximil coming in with a spinning wheel. Slamming onto Manta, taking on the Dutch destroyer then. Pushing Maximil away onto the flame pit. Doesn't look too much like a windmill to me. I don't know about you. Manta, very aggressive. Looks like a little stealth bomber, doesn't it, out there? And a driving force in underneath Maximil. Obviously, Manta believes they are the weakest of these 4 machines out there. Panic Attack and Flensburger Power, at this moment in time, staying largely away from trouble. You can just see Panic Attack attacking there. Flensburger Power, a little bit of a shove. And so the Germans onto the flame pit. Maximil using that flywheel weaponry, but not creating too much carnage. Certainly for me, it's Manta, the most aggressive of all these at this moment in time. Manta from the United States of America, the team from Stevens City. Maximil into the CPZ, which means that Matilda can come in with its own flywheel now. Very heavy, very destructive. And also Shunt comes down with a diamond-edged axe. And Maximil in real problems in there now. The Dutch hope. And they're not smiling, those tulips from Amsterdam right at this moment in time. And Flensburger Power's been counted out as well. And Manta in the background's been dragged around by Panic Attack. So Panic Attack, our own UK hopes here, has suddenly come on the offensive and has got in underneath there. The USA hope Manta. A Manta ray of hope for the USA. I think not. You are now impaled on those forks and there is no way out for Manta. We know that Flensburger Power is gone, and I don't see too much life in Maximil from my position up here. Manta, very much the aggressor again against Panic Attack. We've sent the ref bot to have a check on Maximil. Glancing down. Is it immobilised? We'll see any moment now if the ref bot decides to count it out. And he is indeed counting out the Dutch team here. Well, it's not a Dutch master, let's be honest. Maximil disappointed in the end. And that leaves just the 2. They've gone, Flensburger Power. They were a bit of a silent and deadly team, weren't they, the Germans? And here we see the very end of the windmill. It'll be windmilling through the air right now. Part came off. That'll be a trophy for our cabinet room here, underneath the war zone. And they liked it, which is very strange. Strange the symbols on the back. Here they go. the way through. For sale, it says on the bottom, I think. No wonder. Any buyers? Panic Attack. Left with Manta to win this international clash. And when Panic Attack gets in underneath, the United States of America team, Jeff Sesnick, Billy Bowden and Chris Tyson, have no answer here. Bit of a stalemate, isn't it, though? Go on, Matilda, nudge that. Yeah, go on, that's what I was going to suggest. Nudge that tyre, because that opens up the pit to end the stalemate. Manta is right on the lip of defeat here. On the very edge. How on earth are they holding on? They're not holding on any longer. They're in the pit. And Panic Attack and Kim Davis have triumphed in the International Inferno. We get our little bit of revenge on Flensburger power. Matilda wants a slice. Cease. But it's Panic Attack the victors here for the UK.
From Thornhill in Cwmbran, Gwent, Panic Attack.
Champions of the Second Wars, twice semi-finalists, polycarbonate and bulletproof fiberglass shell with added wide skirts now, lifting forks, durable and dangerous.
From Clondalkin, Dublin in Ireland, Dietor.
A fur-lined, fun-filled, fantastic feline spotted folk hero from Ireland. Not fast, not dangerous, not secure. I love it.
From Portishead in Bristol, Shere Khan.
Will this keep its head while all around are losing theirs? The weaponry, a rock chisel at the front and that 12-kilo moving drum at the back covered in tiger teeth.
Roboteers, stand by.
Peter Edmond at the controls of Dietor on the right and Kim and Michael Davis on the left-hand side of Panic Attack. There's the Shere Khan boys, Richard Radford and Christopher Martin. House Robots, Matilda with the flywheel and the tusks. More dangerous this time around. And Shunt. Can anything push harder than Shunt?
3, 2, 1.
Dietor with the picture of Panic Attack on the front. And immediately there's the rock chisel, look, like a little snake tongue coming out of the front of Shere Khan. Did you see that? You can't have failed to, and you can't have failed to have seen this again. Dietor on the flame pit, which has left the picture of Panic Attack rather cooked. Shere Khan up on the edge of Panic Attack and flipped up and over when it's got the weaponry, but it does not have the control, nor a Sremek, and they're in major trouble here now, Shere Khan. Over they go. That was a good drive by Panic Attack. It actually uses those side skirts as an offensive weapon. Well, also, now on Dietor, that's the counting out of Shere Khan. I'm so disappointed because the weaponry looks devilish. And over go Dietor. Well, they've got the spring-loaded bucket scoopers. Finally, Shere Khan are red-carded. They're out. They've got the bucket scoop there at Dietor. So potentially they can self-right, but I don't think they're going to here. The pit descends. Dietor crashes down, helped out a little bit by Panic Attack. Or have they been? Because Kim Davis has them on the forklift and they're now being dredged and dragged Dietor towards doom and gloom. And therein lies oblivion. Very controlled performance by Panic Attack. They're through to the Annihilator later in the series. Good stuff, Kim Davis and that machine. Well done. Shere Khan, so disappointing. Had the weaponry, but nothing else. Look at this on the floor flipper. Way! Tiger, Tiger, burning bright for you, I'm afraid. It's a disappointing good night.
Cease.
Well, cease has been called, but Shunt has a little bit of tidying up to do. Dietor in the pit. Shere Khan about to go down as well. Panic Attack has a little nudge on Shunt. That's great. Look at this. They're trying to topple Shunt. Certainly got the weapons wedged in hard underneath. Shunt will not like this in the House Robots. Kim Davis have long memories. Cease called again. That means cease, Panic Attack. I.e. stop, desist, finish, end, yellow card. You're lucky to survive with just that.
From Thornhill, Panic Attack.
A Robot Wars legend with Kim Davis at the controls has never failed to reach the British Championship semi-finals. Impenetrable, but those forklifts can let the robot down with a bump.
Hello, we're Team Panic Attack. My name's Kim Davis, this is my son Michael, and this is Christian. This is our robot Panic Attack. This year, we're here to cause some serious damage. We're going to mangle, maim, and crush.
From Colville, Spirit of Nightmare.
A refined wedge with a full-width pneumatic lifter, twin high-speed blending discs, a 9cm full-width ramming cone, and twin pneumatic piercers.
Hi, I'm Nigel. This is Team Nightmare, Lee and Malcolm. This is our brand new robot, Spirit of Nightmare. We've got a flipper on the front, mincers on the side, and piercers at the back. Our middle name's Damage.
From Aberdour, near Edinburgh in Scotland, Fighting Talk.
Robot Wars veterans, we've seen them as Small Talk, All Talk, and Fighting Talk. It's a new shape, design, and a new name, Hippopotamus.
Hi, I'm Richie. This is Alex.
Hello.
This is Ellen.
Hello.
And we're Team Hippopotamus. Ellen's donated our yellow plastic hippopotamus sand pit. Alex has donated his skateboard wheels, and I've donated all this equipment inside. We have a big ram that fires this axe up here, down with some force, but we've also got a spinning disc on the end that spins up, should do some damage when it hits. So been in the wars before, this year we're back for more.
From US Green, Napalm.
I worry about the defensive capabilities of this in this sort of company. At 84 kilos, it's the lightest left in, a large titanium hull with steel spikes attached.
Good evening from Dave, Claire and Vicky, and Napalm, back for another war.
From Holton St Mary, Steel Avenger.
Joint quickest left in with top speeds of up to 15 miles an hour. A powerful pneumatic axe robot with a rear flipper, steel frame, and steel polycarbonate armour.
I'm John Willoughby, this is Jackie, and this is Tony. This is our robot, the Steel Avenger, and we are Team Steel Avenger. We've come along here to do some serious damage for the robots and kick some serious robot.
From Cambridge, Disco Inferno.
Watch for the 30-kilo, huge 3,000 RPM flywheel here. It could be lethal, it's invertible, it can run both ways up. 24 volts power, so let's dance!
Roboteers, stand by.
In one of our control pods, Panic Attack, Steel Avenger, and Spirit of Nightmare on the right. They're Fighting Talk on the left, Disco Inferno, and Napalm on the right again. And our two house robots in the war zone, Sir Killalot with the crushing claws. And alongside our mighty knight, Matilda, with the tusks and the spinning flywheel and the danger with every breath.
3, 2, 1, activate.
If you had to ask me, the favourites, I go for Disco Inferno and Panic Attack. There in the middle, being sandwiched, the Steel Avenger got in a blow, also Fighting Talk in the yellow, the Steel Avenger slamming in down to the Hippopotamus team. And away comes Fighting Talk, rocking and rolling. More activity and action than you see from a normal hippo. This is the Steel Avenger, and right in the middle there, Napalm, and something's come off immediately. I'm worried about the armour plating of Napalm up on top of Panic Attack, but in trouble early on there. Napalm with a skull on the back of what looks like a garden pitchfork, to be honest, is wavering and wobbling. Fighting Talk in the mix as well. The main front of the attack is on Napalm and Spirit of Nightmare there, the wedge in underneath. As Sir Killalot takes a look and plucks Napalm up into the war zone sky. Down they come with a crunch. Spirit of Nightmare in there as well. Panic Attack turning away. Spirit of Nightmare has the flipper stuck open. No, they come down. Sword movement there from the prongs at the back as well. There's the Disco Inferno team. Staying out of danger early on. Waiting and biding their time. Once again, the Steel Avenger with the Feather Duster. Telltale insignia on the back is in the mix of things. Panic Attack trying to get in underneath Fighting Talk with a little bit of a lift. Look at the scratches and dents and scars on the Hippo. Spirit of Nightmare in underneath as well. Looking impressive early on, Spirit of Nightmare here. The Steel Avenger comes across his bows, and again, Disco Inferno this time. Where did that metal come from? Panic Attack or Disco Inferno? Slamming into Spirit of Nightmare before moving away. Crunching into Fighting Talk again. I think Nightmare looks good here, and has the disc stopped, I wonder? Well, the pit release button has been depressed. The judges watch on, so do the crowd. Who's going to go down the pit first and be eliminated straight away? Fighting Talk looks to be still competitive, but is it a danger to others? I don't know. Panic Attack right in there, the yellow with the skirts these days for extra protection. Moving away from danger, Disco Inferno with a slam on Fighting Talk. Is Fighting Talk mobile? Oh, I don't think so now. What's happened to the Hippo? Look at this. Oh, it was once a sand pit. Sand to sand, dust to dust, ashes to ashes. You've had your lot. I would have thought Disco Inferno up on its side. The forks of Panic Attack will be crucial here as the Annihilator goes on, and Spirit of Nightmare showing away against Disco Inferno, which looked invincible coming into this Annihilator for me, but the blade has stopped spinning, it looks like. That's the way to do it, in underneath, turning it on to Matilda and the great flywheel, spun Disco Inferno into the air. Good driving of Spirit of Nightmare, taking there, Disco Inferno into the CPZ, and then of course the left robots can come in, and they're being counted out now by the ref bot. That's the end of Fighting Talk. So it looks as if they will be the first to go, but Disco Inferno looks to have very little life left in them. The first robot Annihilator, though, is Fighting Talk. Counted out, there's the red card.
Unfortunately, there's a problem in the pits with napalm. Now, what's going on? Because you were moving, at least at the end of that bout.
We were moving round in circles. We have to move in a straight line. In order to get back out into the arena next time, we couldn't. We couldn't get out into the arena, so therefore we're having to bow out. And Matilda has also caused some severe damage to us.
She's good at that, isn't she?
She's very good at that.
So there's no point in you going back in because you'd be sitting ducks and you don't think you can fix it in time?
We've got 5 minutes. We need about 5 days.
Roboteers, stand by.
It's the survival of the fittest after all. Panic Attack in there. And Disco Inferno spinning the disc already. There they are together in the pod, the two teams. There's Spirit of Nightmare. And the Steel Avenger. John Willoughby at the controls. Along with the Spirit of Nightmare team on the left there. Nigel Paget, Malcolm Summers and Lee Summers. Matilda's in the arena for us. With the tough exoskeleton. She lacks self-control, you know. I've seen her. And Shunt. Can't self-right. We don't mind. It can push just about anything else out of the arena.
3, 2, 1.
We're at close orders already. The Steel Avenger backing away. In goes Spirit of Nightmare. Now, I'm surprised they're doing so well, and all of a sudden the Steel Avenger is on its side. That's not good. And Panic Attack driving there against the arena sidewall. In go the mighty forklifts that once upon a time took Panic Attack to the British Championship title. Twice a Robot Wars Series semi-finalist after that. And the Steel Avenger is on its side. Righting, though, using those side arms, which effectively act as streamex, self-righting mechanisms. Panic Attack senses, though, that the Steel Avenger is the weakest here. Disco Inferno seems to be all right after the repairs. Spirit of Nightmare with that refined wedge shape and the 70-centimetre wide pneumatic lifter coming in, and Panic Attack in underneath. Disco Inferno once again, in slams the Steel Avenger. Panic Attack right in the middle of this, and also the ref, but oi, ref, get out of there. Let's get your glasses on, ref. Out comes the Steel Avenger to take on Disco Inferno. Is that wise with a 30 kilo, 3,000 RPM large rotating flywheel? Again, it seems to have stopped, though, as the Spirit of Nightmare comes in underneath the Steel Avenger. A vent of steam from the war zone floor, doesn't do any damage. Still the feather duster is intact. Sparks around the arena, flames as well. We've got the floor flipper, we've got the great pit. No one's pressed the button. In goes the Steel Avenger axe, the pneumatic axe. John Willoughby was saying it's just about to axe anyone. There goes the pit release siren. Down goes the pit. Oh, goodness me. Both Panic Attack and the Spirit of Nightmare came so close there. Panic Attack also deadly near a CPZ, a corner patrol zone. Bossed by the House Robots. This is very even so far. This is a good Annihilator battle as the Panic Attack team got plenty of motor left in. Yes, here they come again, Panic Attack. 24-volt motor to slam into Spirit of Nightmare. in the centre of the arena. Oh, the axe comes down from Steel Avenger, trying to get hold there. Failed to do so on Hypnodisc. Takes on Panic Attack with the almost impregnable armour we've heard and seen before. And slicing into the side skirts, though, a dent is made. A dent, we'll call it a chasm. Over goes the Steel Avenger. In goes Disco Inferno. Look at this, there's a real pile up there. And the damage was caused by Spirit of Nightmare, dragging away the Steel Avenger and rolling the Avenger. Very well armoured, Spirit of Nightmare. Good control. Not a bad top speed and impressive so far. And for me, the Steel Avenger is next to go. Yes, the ref body's counting out John and Jackie Willoughby's Steel Avenger. Tony Bates is in that team as well, and equally dismayed, because that's it for the Steel Avenger. Next to go, and then there were 3.
Yes, Craig, there's breaking news in the pits, and that is that Panic Attack might not be ready for the next bout. Kim, what's the problem?
Well, we took on a hell of a lot of damage in that. It's wrecked the whole back end, so we'll go and have a look at it. Hopefully we'll get it back together. But
You haven't got long.
No.
Would you like my help?
I would.
I'm good with a hammer. I think I'll leave you to it. Haven't got long, get to work. See you in a minute. We've got Derek, the technical supervisor, chatting. You giving them good advice, Derek?
Well, I don't know if it's good advice, but we were so severely damaged, I don't think we're going to go back in again.
Kim, that doesn't sound positive, does it?
Well, I said it was sticky tape and plastic before we went in, and they hit the back end and just ripped it right off. And we've actually lost magnets in one of the motors as well, so... And the weapon is destroyed, so...
Oh, it's been a great sport. Nuts to go into Annihilator in the first place, but well done.
Thanks very much.
Cheers, Derek. Back to you.
From Thornhill in Cwmbran went Panic Attack.
Just a kilo heavier, same top speed, 8 miles an hour. 2 lorry windscreen wipers provide the power for a robot which has never failed to reach the semi-finals of a British Championship.
Hello, we're Team Panic Attack. My name's Kim Davis, this is my son Michael, and this is Christian. This is our robot Panic Attack. This year, we're here to cause some serious damage. We're going to mangle, maim, and crush.
From Langport in Somerset, Axor.
Most parts come from packaging machinery. It has an axe and a flipper. No wildcard challenger has yet beaten one of our experienced machines, don't forget.
I'm Rob, this is my father Gilbert and my friend Adrian, and we're Team Ironhorn. This is our new robot, Axor. It's got 2 weapons. The first, a very powerful axe, very capable of doing some serious damage to the robots. The second is the flipper. This is very capable of flipping robots powered off high gas pressure.
House robots in the arena. Sergeant Bash, watch for a lick of flame here and there. And Shunt, watch for the pushing bulldozer scoop.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1.
Green light from the ref bot. And Panic Attack on the attack. Immediately on Axor, barrel-shaped really Axor with the axe that comes down. Driven by Robert Grimm, big Michael Owen Liverpool football fan. Will it be grim news here for Axor against Panic Attack? The armour of Panic Attack virtually impenetrable, always has been, to Kim Davis' secret design in underneath Axor, negating then the power of the axe. The axe can't get them. They're in underneath. They've rolled Axor over. Self-rights. Good style. Good driving by Robert Grimm there. Let's have a look at it. Panic Attack. It was a worthy shove. Rolling Axor over. And immediately, boing, boing. Up it comes. Challenger this. Axor, 97 kilos. Just the lighter. Not quite as long as Panic Attack. Panic Attack this time hoists up using the pneumatic lifting forks. Carries Axor around the arena. They're loving it. Towards the... I see now. The tactic. The pit release button. Panic Attack will reverse onto the pit release button and then piggyback Axor towards the pit. This is all rather inevitable, isn't it? And rather ghoulish and ghastly for Axor. And they're about to be dumped in the pit any moment now. Well, what a fine and stylish performance by Panic Attack this was. Inexorably hit it. Very, very impressive, Kim Davis. Well done. That was good stuff. This is the decisive moment, driving onto the arena sidewall so they could get in underneath and hoist Axor onto the top. Then the pit release. Knew exactly what he was going to do. Had his tactics worked out in advance, Kim Davis probably. There towards the pit, and off you go. You're too heavy for me.
From Thornhill, Panic Attack.
Series 2 champion, semi-finalist twice, now modified with the electric and pneumatic lifting fork, zero turning circle and ground clearance, the very experienced Kim Davis at the controls.
From Horsham, Barbarous.
A vicious twisty turner, spiky barber's pole on its side and on wheels. One description, a horizontal rotating drum covered in barbs with a hammer mace. Lack of experience though, could bring a close shave or two.
Roboteers, stand by.
Let's have a look at the previous champions, Panic Attack there, Kim and Michael Davis's son, and the Barbarous boys, Simon Rafferty, Guy Rafford and Chris Watts. Sergeant Bash is in the arena for the House Robots. And if the flicker flame doesn't get you, why the push, the shove, the scoop, the axe of shunt will.
3, 2, 1.
Fun-looking machine, Barbarous, but will it give Panic Attack a short hack and off the sides of the arena? We'll wait and see. Barbarous drumming out a regular tattoo beat out there on the attack and has grappled hold of Panic Attack, and the fork lifts the front of Panic Attack upward. They stuck in that upward position. Is Barbarous wedged in there somehow? No. Kim Davis has lowered them now, and maybe in doing so has buckled one of those little wheels of Barbarous. We'll wait and see. In underneath Panic Attack. Modified, you see the side skirts there? That prevents a flipper getting in underneath with a broadside attack on Panic. Using now its own forks to get in underneath Barbarous with the rotating drum covered in barbs. And as the drum ceased, when it's ripped, you can see that the weaponry has stopped to Barbarous, and Panic Attack is about to drive Simon Rafferty, Guy Rafford and Chris Watts away, pressing it onto the pit release button, and about to, I think, if he gets the chance, shove it into the pit on the attack, Panic Attack. You can see there the top lifting away like an additional flipper. They have made improvements to Panic Attack semi-finalists, beaten by Stinger in Series 4. In comes Sergeant Bash. Lovely innovative design for Barbarous, and plenty of work would have gone into that. In the design room, very different from the arena itself. Oh dear, we might have made a few mistakes, they think. Well, getting into close quarters with Sergeant Bash was certainly one. And I think Barbarous is just about to be rendered totally harmless. And Panic Attack, well, they may have had a bit of wit, but they're in the pit from Panic Attack. Hard luck, Barbarous boys. Good effort.
Roboteers, stand by.
Panic Attack, sturdy. The experience of Kim Davis at the controls looks good. Well, I've been impressed by Tiberius too, and the driving of Sam Smith. His dad Stuart's a teacher. Dead Metal's in the arena, hoping to teach a few lessons or two with the pincer and the saw. And back again, the axe and scoop of Shunt.
3, 2, 1.
Sam Smith at the controls of Tiberius, loves his snooker. He's hoping to pop Panic Attack, but the Welsh team is in underneath once again and just lifts Tiberius too. Well, Could be it at Christmas if it goes on like that. In underneath, Tiberius again. Panic Attack looking to use its forks, but that's a good, neat, trim spin by Tiberius to get back onto the attack with the crushing beak. Right again into the innards of Panic Attack. To the heart of the matter. And holding on now. Tiberius 2, Sam Smith driving. Lost in the heat of Series 4. And they are here, back and improved. Goodness me, how they've improved. Panic Attack just brushes off that attack, though. Tiberius trying to get the scoop to work, but that's where the benefit of the side skirts come in. Nothing can get underneath Panic Attack from the sides. So Tiberius trying to get in behind. Panic Attack sees that one coming. Spins again. Lifts Tiberius up. This is a very good fight. Some superb driving out there. Wily tactical heads as well. Who's pushing who there? Sam Smith for Tiberius pushing Panic Attack, or it's the other way round. I think it's Kim Davis doing all the shoving. There's Dead Metal into the play now, and Tiberius too. Little bit of lack of experience maybe. Being pushed into the CPZ, shunting Dead Metal in there, of course. You go into a quarter patrol zone, then the house robot's going to attack you. The red box just having a glance on the right-hand side. But Tiberius 2 is now fighting for survival. After starting this battle so well, Panic Attack levering it up again to expose the soft underbelly, perhaps. Maybe what Kim's trying to do is lift it up and also push it into a CPZ to allow the house robots to come in and wreak havoc. But Tiberius shoves back. This is a real heave-ho, isn't it? Tug of war. Panic Attack on the arena sidewalls. Comes out again. Can get up to 8 miles an hour. Neither the quickest of machines. Well, they're screaming pit, pit, pit. But the pit release button has to be pressed first. And Panic Attack doing just that now. And they've got a hold on Tiberius. There's the pit. Down it goes. Tiberius, you've got to get away now. Panic Attack, a very good controlled performance by Kim Davis once again here. He's one of the most experienced drivers and competent drivers in Robot Wars, but he's got to watch it. He could be toppled in himself here if he overbalances. Tiberius hanging by a thread. The thread is snapped. Down it goes. Panic Attack through to the heat final.
Roboteers, stand by.
Panic Attack with the prongs. Kim Davis and Michael, his son. Cat 3 with the axe. Keith Williams, his sister Julianne, and girlfriend George there in the middle. Sergeant Bash in the middle for the house robots. Sergeant's been on good form tonight, so has Matilda.
3, 2, 1.
Well, from what we've seen so far, Panic Attack won't go gung-ho. We'll use patience. There's just seeing, can I get in underneath Cat 3? 2 centimetre ground clearance. Waited for the moment, got the prongs in underneath. And for Cat 3 here now, great danger, because I don't think they can get off those prongs. Kim Davis knows exactly what he's doing. He may well lift them an extra centimetre or 2. And for Georgie Reed and Julianne Williams, it's agony out there. Ooh, they're lifting Cat 3 up, but Cat 3 with 100 kilos pressing down, using the axe, not causing any real damage though, is it, to Panic Attack? Again, down comes the axe, but there's a buckling going on there on Cat 3's frame. At the front, lifted up as it was by Panic Attack, now driving. Just see the faint buckling there at the front of Cat 3, driving into the CPZ. And again onto the arena sidewall. Sergeant Bash is in there. Panic Attack reverses. I think this is all Panic Attack control here. And you can see where that buckling came from. The fork in underneath, prizing away the front armoury of Cat 3. Can they claw their way back into this? The Cat's litter is about to be left in the bottom of our pit. No warm basket by the fireside for this chavvy. Our feline friend is about to meet its end. Panic Attack to go through to the series semi-finals with a very measured series of performances. Almost overstepping the mark there, Kim Davis. And may well have to back away before nudging Cat 3 down into the pit to avoid being overbalanced. They are trying to hold on here. But the last of its lives go. The Cat is finished.
Cease. Roboteers, stand by.
The ref bot looks on. Firstly at the Welsh machine, Panic Attack with Kim Davis at the controls and his son Michael there with him, aged 12. And the Pussycat machine of Alan Gribble, who built the robot, David, his son, who drives it, and Robert Bettington, the weapons operator. The house robots, Sergeant Bash emerges with the flamethrower and the pincers. And Shunt with the pushing power, the axe and the scoop.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Great history of Robot Wars, near success for Pussycat, twice a grand finalist, Panic Attack champions of Series 2. And doing the legwork early on through the flames, you can see a Panic Attack strong thrust at Pussycat, but Pussycat turning away, and Panic Attack in the CPZ and at the mercy there of Sergeant Bash. Well, that is very surprising that Kim Davis left himself open for a Sergeant Bash attack in the CPZ. They need to get away, but Shunt is hemming them in. That's what the house robots can do. If you get into a CPZ, the corner patrol zone, the house robots can attack you. He comes away, Panic Attack, with the side skirts in this series. You see the black and white striped side skirts to prevent others getting in underneath. And Pussycat's turn now to get on top in this battle, I would have thought. There, using the circular blade to attack the front forks of Panic Attack. Panic Attack will try and wedge those forks in underneath that high ground clearance, 10 centimetres ground clearance of Pussycat. 14 miles an hour, the Cat can speed away far quicker than Panic Attack. Veered up on one of those wheels. The wheels are exposed, but Panic Attack doesn't have a shredder, doesn't have a blade, and also has those side skirts now buckled. For me, this is Pussycat's fight so far, and Panic Attack has a lot of work to do. Pussycat may look out of control. It's not on, ripping one of the skirts away. Almost an indecent attack on the side of Panic Attack from Pussycat. And at the moment, the Moggy has it. And its claws look sharper and more venomous than Panic Attack's weaponry. But the clock will tick down to a judge's decision, and they'll have to use their far superior minds to mine to make a decision.
Cease.
Style, control, damage and aggression. That's what they'll have to judge Kim Davis and the Gribble boys on.
Well. Tough battle. Panic Attack looked like it had problems, but both robots still mobile, still in the arena. We're going to have to go to the judges.
Craig, let's have a look at the highlights. Panic Attack started well for me. Pussycat in the CPZ, but got out and Panic Attack lingered. And in came Sergeant Bash, and that is key. That is not good control or style. Punishment was then received by Panic Attack by the Pussycat blade. Not in that onslaught, but to the side skirts, certainly. And in the end, Panic Attack looked a sorry sight.
I said you had problems. They've gone for Pussycat!
Roboteers, stand by.
Panic Attack team on the left, Firestorm on the right. In their own pod, the Wheelie Big Cheese threesome. The arena for the house robots, Sergeant Bash to confuse things with the flamethrower. And for maximum meltdown, dead metal in there too.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Hardly mellow yellow out there in the arena. The three yellow machines, a banana skin battle developing. Wheelie Big Cheese in the middle, trying to get underneath Panic Attack's front porch to flip. Firestorm recognising the danger of Wheelie Big Cheese. Hey, look, I better take you out first. Firestorm, at the moment, the speedier of the three in there, up to 12-mile-an-hour top speeds. They're all locked together. What is wrong with Wheelie Big Cheese's flipper? Nothing. Panic Attack spins to the ground. The flipper yawns open. Is it stuck open? No. Like a great yawning mouth, it closes once again. Panic Attack on the pit release button, but not depressing it. Wheelie Big Cheese is against the arena side wall, and Firestorm's flipper nearly came into play then. Trying to toss 99 kilos of cheese out of the arena. A jet of flame. Wheelie Big Cheese is up against it, against that arena side wall. Firestorm doing all the nagging. A real irritant in there, but they need to get out of the CPs, out of the Sergeant Bash can attack them. Wheelie Big Cheese is wedged underneath the side angle grinder, and I don't think can get out of there now. They need to slam that machine into reverse. You can see the studs on the tyres giving him some purchase. Refbot has a look. Wheelie Big Cheese is away. Slams into Sergeant Bash, hardly advisable. Panic Attack doesn't seem to be mobile. Yes, it is. It just moved, and that'll do. And there you can see the Firestorm boys, and in the background, Kim Davis of Panic Attack concentrating. His machine is just moving. The pit release button has been depressed. Firestorm has done all the work for me thus far, should it go to a judge's decision. Panic Attack hasn't done a great deal, and Wheelie Big Cheese seems to be waging its own war against itself. Firestorm against the arena side wall, and Panic Attack now comes back out. Were they playing cat and mouse? Come into my parlour, said the spider to the fly. Well, I don't know. Panic Attack. Oh, Firestorm's in underneath. Can we see a flip in? No, they've missed an opportunity. Not great style by the Firestorm boys. Missed a chance to attack there. Wheelie Big Cheese, what has happened to Roger Plant's machine? It's being counted out. They're the first to go in this losers melee. Don't forget, the winner of the losers melee goes straight back into the main competition. Panic Attack, again susceptible to a Firestorm attack. The cheese is gone. They're out of it. A major surprise that for me in this semi-final. I thought Wheelie Big Cheese with a big number. No, they're not. Firestorm left in there with Panic Attack, and the judges will have to decide which of these two stays in the competition and which goes out at the end. Dead Metal has a say in it, and if anything, Panic Attack finishing the stronger there.
Well, Wheelie Big Cheese didn't make it. Panic Attack and Firestorm throw themselves at the mercy of our judges.
Well, Firestorm worked hard on Wheelie Big Cheese and played a huge role in the cheese going out. Panic Attack took an attack there. All these will be considered by the judges. For me, Firestorm was the more aggressive.
We have a judge's decision, and there's one thing I can assure you of. The winners are wearing yellow. They're looking at style, control, damage, and aggression. And I agree with the decision. They've gone for Firestorm!
In Wales, the number 8 seed, Panic Attack.
Going for gold again.
Now, Panic Attack Gold, you are up against, in your first battle, Rocks, Chronic, and the Corkscrew.
Yeah.
Do any of those worry you?
Corkscrew.
Why?
Smash the skirts and then flipper flips over and then crushes crabbers. Simple.
Not looking very good then, is it?
No, not really.
All that gold's going to peel off, isn't it?
Yeah. I've got lots of that.
That's what you get if it's cheap, you see.
Champions of Robot Wars, the second Wars, it can lift twice its own weight with a very powerful push, but self-righting is very slow.
From Herworth in Darlington, Rocks.
A razor-esque rock crusher.
Hello. Hello, hello, Rock's team. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Good. What have you got for us?
All right, yes. We've got a hydraulic machine, not unlike Razor. It's not very pretty, but it sure is mean.
A big steel hydraulic jaw on wheels, two-wheel drive from two motors and Vantec control, slow at just 5 miles an hour.
From the borders in Scotland, Corkscrew.
A completely revolving body with 6 blades.
The Scottish team here from Selkirk. The Borders.
The Borders.
As I say, and
yes.
as you say. Now, John, we remember Corkscrew from last time. You've completely rebuilt it. Now, you probably would recognise the kilt that it wore, not a skirt, been told. But apparently they're so close to the weight limit that even this would push them over the edge.
A total 360-degree killing zone with a SREMEC, but at 20 miles an hour top speeds, it is difficult to control.
From Beer in Devon, Chronic 2.
Twice beaten in the heats, very animated, lovely looker.
I heart beer, it says on the back of your robot. You'll be drinking loads of it if you don't get through this first fight, Chronic 2 team. You are up against Panic Attack, which is now 24 carat, Corkscrew from the Borders, and over there, Colin's Rock's robot.
Never mind. Tell me a man in a skirt in it, we got to fight.
Well, if I tell him that, it won't just be robots at war.
I'll say sleeker this time with a more powerful flipper and a stronger frame and shell. 2 flippers act as self-righting mechanisms, but the bottom panel is missing because it was overweight in the qualifiers.
Roboteers, stand by.
Let's have a look at the Roboteers together. Chronic 2 there on the left, Dave Lang captains. Rocks on the right, Colin Sivers is the captain. The Corkscrew family on the left-hand side, the Heatley boys and Panic Attack with Kim and Michael Davis. In the arena for the house robot, Shunt with the bulldozer and the axe, and Sir Killalot with the pincers and the churning lance.
3, 2, 1, activate.
All these machines have featured in the past history of Robot Wars. They've got lots of experience, pace and weaponry. Rocks coming in. Chronic 2 trying to lever up the flipper there. Rocks with the beak, the crush. Oh, look at that attack from Corkscrew! 99 kilos, in at speed, 20 miles an hour, slamming into Panic Attack side panels, which are designed to stop anything getting in underneath. But that was a mighty attack from Corkscrew, and then they come again, and causing major damage to the Chronic armament there. And you can see that one of the Chronic 2 wheels now left exposed. Down goes the pit. And Corkscrew goes with it! Oh, what an end for a machine that had started brilliantly! The Corkscrew have gone! And now Rocks gets a grip on Chronic 2. In the middle of it, Panic Attack took the brunt of that huge first attack from Corkscrew. You've just seen them, the men in kilts. They've gone. This is Chronic 2 flipping Rocks. Oh, and is that something coming out of Rocks? Colin Sivers and his family look on, Carl and Jack, but I think Rocks is leaking hydraulic fluid, it is! You can see it pouring out. That's a major problem because without the hydraulics, Rocks simply will not be able to self-right all on the arena floor. It is pouring out there. And the ref got quite right to get in with a quick count and count Rocks out. They've hit the Rocks. They've gone from competition. In the background, Panic Attack is taking a slam, which is unnecessary now from Chronic 2 because we know they're heading through. Do they not realise that Rocks has been counted out and that Corkscrew is in a pit? What's going on? You don't need to do this. You are both safely through. Panic Attack and Chronic 2. The audience, as they always do once more, Rocks flies through the air. Captain Colin Sivers, how can he laugh at his own machine's destruction? Oh, there's the angle grinder on the side. And Carl looks on, 11-year-old schoolboy, and that's the end for Rocks. Safe at last. Cease. Sir Killalot prances.
Roboteers, stand by.
In the arena for the house robots, Sir Killalot
He really is gruesome, isn't he? Meet him on a dark night, no thank you. Shunt. Prettier.
3,
Bit.
2,
Who am I kidding?
1. Activate.
How much damage was caused to Panic Attack, really? Was it only superficial from that first round against Rocks and Corkscrew? A-kill. Lost weaponry as well in fighting Reptiron. A-kill trying to piggyback up on Panic Attack. 0 ground clearance, you see, with the side flanges there for Panic Attack. Nothing can get in underneath. And I wonder about the actual potency of A-kill's weaponry. They sacrificed some weight for extra weaponry. And that means, I think, that Panic Attack have extra shovability. And they've got a very good driver in Kim Davis. One of the best ever in Robot Wars. That's not a weapon. I'm sorry. Hey, what is that? What is this on top, A-kill? Oh, a mighty mace? No. A heavy, horrendous hammer? No. A stupendous, slicing, cutty thing? No, it's nothing, boys. Really is. What can you do now, A-kill? Ooh, bit tentative. Look at the concentration on Kim Davis's face. Champions in Robot Wars, the second wars. They defeated Cassius. Robot Wars veterans amongst you will remember that. A-kill almost up on its side. And is one of the weapons locked there? I think it has. One of the spinning blades seems to have been bent and has locked. A-kill is on its side. You're seeing there the control pod. Gordon is at the controls, a telecommunications engineer. Chris is team captain, works on the AA patrols. Ryan, schoolboy, looking on. More homework needed for A-kill, I would think. Dangerously near the CPZ, must have crossed into the CPZ because Shunt came out with the weaponry. Puncturing some of A-kill, and again that front blade, if you could call it that. It looks like 2 dustbin lids squashed together, to be honest. Probably isn't. But the most expensive item on this was the paint. Everything else cost less than £10. A-kill about to be pushed delicately aside by Panic Attack. The crowd want the pit. They're going to get there, which A-kill just digging in, but no more. Brave attempt to get this far. The road to glory ends in the pit.
Cease.
Kim and Michael Davis go through again.
Roboteers, stand by.
Matilda's in the arena with the flywheel and the tusks. Shunt's in there again with the bulldozer blade.
3, 2, 1.
Activate is called. Kim and Michael Davis were concerned about Panic Attack. They've left the side skirts on. They've left the skirts on. They were talking about removing them. They're left on, and Terahertz is slamming it with the axe, and I don't think Panic Attack has the maneuverability to get away, and Terahertz is causing damage straight away. At the controls there, John Reed. Look at this, it's systematic. Oh, they are battering Panic Attack into submission. One blow after another raining down, and Kim cannot do anything about this whatsoever. He knows his machine is sluggish. The metal is being ripped away. The armament, look at that weaponry and power of Terahertz. Certainly one of the most destructive machines we've seen in Robot Wars the 6th Wars. Only 2 seeds thus far. Chaos 2, the number 5, and Stinger, the number 11 seeds, have crashed out of the competition. But Panic Attack here, the number 8 seeds, are in danger of following them. Shunt is in there as well. The bulldozer looks a little bit tattered. Has a great split in it, do you see? Down comes the axe. This has been one-way traffic throughout this heat final. Well, Panic Attack, oh! Off comes the top armour. And now the electronics, the electric motors exposed. Matilda's flywheel causing all the damage there after Terahertz had initially prized that lid loose. They're queuing up. Please, RefBot, count them out. And look at this, almost in reverence to what Panic Attack has been in the past, no one is going in there to create more damage yet. They're counted out. I think he knew it was going to happen, didn't he? Maybe it's time now to completely rebuild Panic Attack.
Will he have to? Will the house robots, Shunt and Matilda, totally destroy? Oh, 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 the drop zone's being lined up. Surely not for Panic Attack. Have some reverence. That's better. Put it on the floor, flip the crowd. Don't like it. Cruel, nasty, delicious people. Panic Attack from the floor flipper. That'll do, surely. Away it goes. Sturdy, nothing came out from the exposed innards. Still they want the drop zone. Still they call for the drop zone. Oh no! Shunt, how could you? How nasty! How wonderful! What a lovely... Kim's trying to get away. To fight another day. It's too late. Your time is nigh. Oh, we got suspended up there. I'm told it's a washing machine. A household washing machine to come crashing down on you. Kim Davis and Panic Attack. No! Cease. The end. Bang. It's all over now.
From Vancouver in Canada, Tara Turtle.
Ah, the house robots love a slurp of turtle soup now and again.
So Canada against Wales, South Africa and Cyprus. Can you do it?
Well, they have very, very tough robots. They seem to have been in the robot business a bit longer than Canadians, than this Canadian anyway, so we're up against it. It's going to be tough. Turtles are almost gone from the wild, and they may be gone from Robot Wars shortly, too.
Oh, no! You need to be much more optimistic than that. JJ, can you beat any of them?
I don't know, but turtles are predators.
They're now in the land of roboteering great whites. A wheeled turtle surrounded by a spinning rotor which clears the floor by about 10 centimetres, 90 centimetres long, the body frame box section, the sides covered in an aluminium plate.
From Cyprus, Cerberus.
Baying from the gates of hell.
Last time I saw Cerberus, I know it was a little while ago, he looked beautiful. He's all dull and lacklustre. Is he not on top form?
He's a bit tired.
For those of you who've never seen him before, he used to be so shiny and beautiful.
But all those other robots scratch him. And they hurt him, so he decided, why should I look pretty?
Mean and menacing dog or a pampered pooch. A robotic dinosaur with crushing jaws, slashing claws and a ramming tail covered in titanium.
From Cwmbran in Wales, Panic Attack.
A former UK champion, but is it past its best?
I think Firestorm's going to be the one to beat. They've beaten us all a number of times, luckily.
Right. But in this first round, I mean, you're already looking ahead. In this first round.
Yeah, no problem. We will do it for Wales, and this time the trophy's ours.
Good.
Six-wheeled of alloy and polycarbonate construction, it's able to lift twice its own weight with a powerful push, but self-righting's very slow.
From South Africa, Crustacean.
Once entered the UK Championships and became a heat finalist, has experience.
Are you frightened of the Canadians with the turtle?
Well, he tells me not to be, so I can only take his word for it, but no, I guess not.
Are you frightened of the Cypriots with the legendary dog?
He might have good pushing power, but I think that's all, so we'll have to see.
Are you frightened of the Welsh?
The Welsh...
With Panic Attack?
Panic Attack are good. They are very, very good. They can drive much better than I can, as you know.
How much pressure with the pincers?
A couple of 100 kilos.
A large aluminium shelled crab with two claws, the chassis entirely constructed of 12mm thick aerospace aluminium. Poor control, though, caused by intermittent radio interference.
Roboteers, stand by.
The teams, Panic Attack and Wales on the left, Kim Davis, Captain Terra Turtle, the Frizzell family on the right, Crustacean there from South Africa, the Visser family on the left, Cerberus on the right, the Kakufa boys and Alex Wink.
There in the arena for the House Robots shunt. The double bulldozer blades, ooh, and the crushing claws of Sir Kill-A-Lot.
3, 2, 1.
There we see Panic Attack, winners of the second wars, the second domestic UK championships, putting pressure on Cerberus, spinning away there in the centre of the war zone. Terror Turtle at the top. Panic Attack backs away, the sides protected by those yellow and black striped flanges. There's Crustacean getting in on the action as well with the front crab claws and chasing away down on Cerberus. The surface job dulled, we thought, in the pits. Dulled sensors as well, I should think. There's the pit release. Cerberus in trouble, so too Terror Turtle. Sort of caught on Panic Attack, therefore can be dragged by the Welsh team and almost dredged the pit of oblivion there. Cerberus and Crustacean lock jaws and claws, and Cerberus down, they've gone, and Panic Attack very nearly followed. I'll tell you what, they nearly drove themselves into the pit, Panic Attack. Terror Turtle being pushed away. Cerberus and the Cypriot boys, they didn't last long. Panic Attack being pushed away. Oh, now back in the Panic Attack there. Team on the left is Kevin Pritchard. He was with Kim Davis when they won the UK Championships. Then he went away to develop his own robots. And he's back with Kim once more for this Commonwealth Carnage. And Panic Attack, a cagey and wily performance so far. Kim at the controls there. Brilliant roboteer. Crustacean backing away. Terror Turtle locked into a CPZ, which will allow Shunt to come in. Panic Attack is by far the strongest of the remaining three. But who goes through with them? Terror Turtle. John Frizzell driving there with little 7-year-old JJ alongside him. Terror Turtle being pushed onto the arena sidewall. Now between a rock and a crab ball, and just caught by Crustacean's claws made from 12mm aluminium, driven by a screw jack mechanism, exerting 300 kilos of pressure there. The crab claws and Panic Attack, a little push as well. Terror Turtle, are they dragging Crustacean, or is Crustacean pushing? I wonder. Pit, pit, pit. Oh, now that's interesting. You see Dominic Viss's gloves there. As he moves his hands, so he moves the crab claws. That's the way the weapons are operated. Unique system on Crustacean. Terror Turtle, well, they came to laugh, but it is Mock Turtle out there now as Kill-A-Lot grabs hold. Oh, now what's that going to say? JJ's placard. You got no chance. Crustacean, I think he's trying to help you out by nipping at Sir Kill-A-Lot, but over goes the Turtle. Now this is interesting because that's not in a CPZ, and I'm not too sure whether Kill-A-Lot should have done that. Meanwhile, Panic Attack is taking on Shunt. Is that wise? Terror Turtle is toppled. The Maple Leaf, is it about to fall? I think this has to go to the judges. Save the Turtle, that might come off, because Kill-A-Lot, for me, has turned Terror Turtle illegally. The judges are going to have to decide on this one. Panic Attack obviously through, but who goes through with it? Three wise men. On the left, Professor Martin Smith, Professor Noel Sharkey, and Matt Irvin.
And the judges have made their decision. Although Kill-A-Lot turned over Terror Turtle, they say it doesn't matter. The winners are Panic Attack from Wales and Crustacean from South Africa!
Roboteers, stand by.
In the arena for the House Robots, Mr. Psycho. Horrible eyes. And Sergeant Bash.
3, 2, 1.
Panic Attack there, representing Wales. And Firestorm 4 from Durham in England, doing all the chasing. Panic Attack, a little bit of panic there from Kim Davis, just steering away. Firestorm 4 up and over. 0 ground clearance on both these machines. Firestorm 4 is the quicker, again using that flipper. Panic Attack turning away, they're behind Panic Attack. Lost an advantage there, actually, Firestorm 4. Now up onto the front prongs, and that's dangerous. Had that been nearer the arena side wall, Firestorm 4 would have been in jeopardy. Now they're on the push once again. Very strong machine. Once again trying to use the forward hinge flipper to great effect. Panic Attack into the CP's head. So too Firestorm 4. Very quick. Good battle this, isn't it? Plenty of experience between the two. I remember Panic Attack losing to Firestorm 3 in the semi-final of the 5th Wars, the 5th UK Championships. Now it's Panic Attack's turn to come onto the attack. Firestorm 4 veers away. Good attack by the Welsh team there. Kim Davis, a fine driver. So too Graham Bone, ever the Robot Wars bridesmaid. Been third in the UK Championship twice. Now Sergeant Bass comes out of a CPZ. Panic Attack dragged away. Caught side on by Firestorm. Turned on its side. Very, very slow to self-right. Panic Attack, if they can self-right at all from there. As Graham and Hazel look on, I think Panic Attack here is finished. Can they come down? They're trying to self-right. The lights are blinking. Kevin Pritchard looks on. There we can see Graham Bone peering out from his control pod as well. A little shove on Panic Attack. Firestorm awaits, the ref bot checks. Panic Attack, I don't think he's going to self-right. If they're immobilised for 30 seconds or more, the ref bot will count them out. Firestorm 4 says, where's your watch, ref? There it is. And the countdown to Commonwealth Carnage Oblivion for Wales begins. The pit release has been sounded. Firestorm 4 wants Panic Attack down the pit. They're out. Firestorm 4 has gone through. And now all that remains is send Panic Attack not back to the valleys, not back to those famous Welsh pits, but down perhaps into our gloomy, doomy pit of oblivion. Hoisted by Mr. Psycho. Oh! And there in the background, Firestorm 4 has taken on the House Robots. Panic Attack being hoisted away by Mr. Psycho. Go on, Firestorm! If you can lift Mr. Psycho, that is one heck of a robot. Mr. Psycho, just a glance there at the hammer to say, no, you'd be ill-advised. He's off to Firestorm 4 now. Now that Bash was flicked up and over on its side. And no wonder Firestorm's running away here. Get out of trouble. Oh! 6'2", eyes of blue. Mr. Psycho's after you. Firestorm form running away. Where is he? Go on, Psycho, have a look. No. Come back on Panic Attack. Mr. Psycho, after all, likes to hit a object that isn't moving, that is defenceless. He has no mercy. Panic Attack, worthy, but beaten. Oh! Firestorm 4 underneath Mr. Psycho! Can they do it? Look at Mr. Psycho! That is a huge weight! Mr. Psycho saved by the cease! No! Timber! That's a first! Who on earth is going to haul Mr. Psycho up onto his feet? That'll take an army.
From Roth in Cardiff and number 8 seed, Panic Attack.
Champions of the Second Wars has never lost a first-round battle.
Right, we do have a star in the vicinity. This is, of course, Panic Attack, winner of the Second Wars. Lads, what have you got to give us? This is the 7th now.
This is the 7th. It's going to be a biggie. We're still electrically powered. We've got the lifting rams at the front here. We haven't got a Shremek this time.
Panic Attack in the 7th Wars without a self-righting mechanism. Is that going to be a big nightmare for you, lads?
No, I'm sure we'll do very well.
In its 6th Wars, 6-wheeled, alloy and polycarbonate construction, lifting ram spikes, battle-hardened, but a new driver. Interesting.
From Pencluid in Swansea, Megaball.
In its 3rd Wars, once a heat finalist.
What does it do?
What does it do? It flips, it has a disc, and hopefully it moves.
And it rolls over as well. If it gets flipped, it rolls over and it looks yellow, dangerous, looks like a bee.
A CO2 power flipper, 24 volt, 10 kilo disc, modified skid steer, 4-wheel drive, titanium body and weapon, custom made actuators, and looks mega to me.
From Macclesfield in Cheshire, Hedgehog.
Hibernated in the Sixth Wars and was beaten in round 1.
Got 2 more eager Roboteers. They're eager because they need to get out there and fight. Is that right?
That's right, yeah. We're going to get out there, show them what we're made of.
What are you made of exactly?
Titanium. We've got titanium on the side, aluminium sides, titanium axe. So we're all ready for it.
How many strikes of the axe do you get?
We've got up to about 20-25 strikes. The first are more powerful. It slows down eventually as it runs out of gas. But the first few are the best ones, so we've got to make the first ones count.
A hexagonal steel chassis with a wedge at the front, very strong construction with the powerful axe striking at 106 miles an hour initially, but the Hedgehog could freeze up.
From Bradnich in Devon, Spin Doctor.
Lost in the first round of the Sixth Wars. Is it improved, I wonder?
Have you modified it for this?
Yeah, we modified it a lot because last year, I'm afraid we broke down pretty early, and also our teeth were much smaller. This year, they're much sharper, meaner, stronger, better in every way.
The Seventh Wars has been a brutal wars, Tim. Are you worried about stepping into that arena?
Terrified.
A 50-kilo rotating body at 400 RPM with 4 blades welded on it. Strong armour, but problems with the electronics in the past, as we've heard, and it's vulnerable underneath.
Roboteers, stand by.
To the team then, all in daffodil yellow. Mega Morg, captained by Dorian Cordy on the left. Panic Attack, captained by Kevin Pritchard on the right. Spin Doctor on the left, captained by Alistair Harlow. Hedgehog, captained by Stephen Edgerton on the right. In the arena for the house robots, Mr. Psycho. And there to Cassius Crow.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Panic Attack, slow and edgy across the arena floor. But purposeful as it knocks into Spin Doctor. 100 kilos in weight. Brightly coloured Spin Doctor, so too is Mega Morg. Surviving the axe attack of Hedgehog there. Panic Attack with the side skirts, you will see, to prevent being flipped. Spin Doctor very, very nearly... it has. It's just nudged the pit release button because it was thrust on its side and over and out, I think, to be honest. Mega Morg just backing onto Hedgehog. Is that wise? Down comes the pneumatic axe. We heard from the Hedgehog team that axe weakens as a battle goes on. They need to get their strikes in early, and striking against Panic Attack's alloy and polycarb construction. Don't think we're going to see much more out of Spin Doctor, I'm afraid. They were knocked away and out of action. Hedgehog there, furious onto the attack, hopping and skipping. And again, flipped though by Mega Morg. Down it comes. Inadvertently helped out by Mega Morg in the end as the ref bot counts down on Spin Doctor's participation in the Seventh Wars. We wondered whether it was improved, and to be honest, no. They've got to go back to the drawing board, I think. Hedgehog piggybacking on Panic Attack. Panic Attack nudges Hedgehog towards the side walls. Hedgehog trying to self-right, coming down using the axe, bouncing away, reversing to have a run-up. Pit, 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 cry the crowd. Down comes Psycho's hammer on the underneath of Spin Doctor. We mentioned you beforehand, vulnerable on the underbelly. It's a shame for them there. You can see the back of the Panic Attack team. Former champions, former series semi-finalists on 2 or 3 occasions. And has never gone out at this stage. Panic Attack comes in. And the Welsh here are ganging up on Hedgehog. Mega Morg from Swansea, Panic Attack from Cardiff. They're scrumming down together, and Hedgehog out as a result. Celebrations in the Welsh camps. Not too sure if you're supposed to hit the plexiglass, but anyway, there they go, teaming up, and Hedgehog goes down into the pit. And Mr. Psycho comes in with Spin... Dropped Spin Doctor there.
Just wonder whether Mark Cooper's going to have a sore fist after hitting that plexiglass. No, Spin Doctor is too late now. Far too late. But just squeezing away from the house robots there. A nimble piece of footwork, so to speak. They know they've got to do a little bit better next time. The Spin Doctor team. Alistair Harlow and Dad Tim. Disappointed. And gruesomely awaiting their fate. And the floor flipper, gently positioned by Cassius Crone. A one-eyed monster and jealous of anything that enters his arena, like Spin Doctor. Well done, Omega Morgan. Panic Attack.
Roboteers, stand by.
Looking good too in the arena. Sergeant Bash on parade. And Mr. Psycho.
3, 2, 1.
Tough as nails repeat the pit release technique. Well, pushing Panic Attack that way, and has done again, but already has Panic Attack in its clutches. In the previous fight, it pressed the pit release button, then went on the attack. Panic Attack trying to get in and flick Tough as Nails underneath those front arms. The pincers of Tough as Nails, the ground clearance 3 centimeters, so vulnerable to a flipper. Trying to grapple and grasp Panic Attack. Oh, and just went into the CPZ, the edge of the CPZ. That meant, of course, Psycho's hammer could come down. The corner areas, corner patrol zones. If you're new to Robot Wars, patrolled by the house robots, you go into one of those corners and you can be attacked by a house robot. And momentarily, Tough as Nails lost their way. Don't think it's damaged any of their controls, though, do you? And pursuing Panic Attack. Panic Attack very much on the defensive here. Very experienced machine, as we've mentioned before. Owned by Kim Davis. Part now, actually, of the technical team on Robot Wars, which means, of course, he can't fight competitively anymore, but this is nonetheless his machine. Captained now by Kevin Pritchard. Tough as Nails, in their first UK Robot Wars, doing very, very well. Purposefully, again, grinding down Panic Attack. Left themselves broadside on to a little Panic Attack shove. But Panic Attack lacking any power to flip. Oh, and that's why, look, you can see the lifting prongs have been bent, crumpled by Tough as Nails. There's no offensive nature about Panic Attack now. What can they do? Just grin, bear it, and try and hold on out there and go to a judge's decision. But to me, the number 8 seeds are facing defeat full on here. Slammed into Sergeant Bash. Now that's not going to help matters. They can't get any purchase on Tough as Nails, can they? Or are the Forks okay? Have they been pushed back into position? What do you think? Tough as Nails has them anyway in its grip, so I think it's going to be academic. Can't get any traction on the arena floor though, because Panic Attack is digging in. Reversing against Tough as Nails, so the Duck team can't get the old push, and the final heave-ho down into that yawning pit. The Tough as Nails team tries to drag Panic Attack away into the CPZ. Sergeant Bash awaiting. Steam vented from the arena floor. Sergeant Bash has a grapple. Tough as Nails watching any developments. They're in the CPZ, which means that Psycho can join in. Down comes the hammer. Panic Attack just dodged. I don't know how they managed to do that. And dodged again. That's good driving. Straight into the clutches of Tough as Nails. Well, a lesser robot would have submitted to defeat by now, and that's all credit to Panic Attack. But should this go to a judge's decision, as now seems inevitable, only one way, isn't it? Unless Panic Attack has got something miraculous in the final 4 seconds. Oh! For a minute there, I thought they might have pushed Tough as Nails down into the pit, but it goes to a judge's, and surely there can only be one decision here in the way of Tough as Nails.
Well, good fight. Far too close to call. I'm going to ask the audience.
If you think Panic Attack won, make some noise! If you think Tough as Nails won, make some noise! Well, the audience have spoken. I think they went for Tough as Nails. We'll have to see if our judges agree. While they're making up their minds, let's look at the highlights.
I'm with the crowd, Craig. I go for Tough as Nails, driving on, causing damage to Panic Attack. The judges mark on style control, damage and aggression. For me, Tough as Nails was the more aggressive despite that push by Panic Attack. Panic Attack, good style to move Tough as Nails away from the pit. And again, good driving there, dodging the house robots.
Well, judges have made the decision. You know the criteria, lads. They've gone for Tough as Nails!
From Addleston in Surrey, Cap 3.
Have fought in 5 wars. They're never really spectacular.
The All-Stars Championship.
Yeah.
Cat 3, how are we going to deal with this one?
Oh, I don't know. I think we might go for Panic Attack. They beat us in Series 5, so I think it's a bit of time, payback time.
How do you deal with a flipper, though?
Well,
we're quite good at self-righting, so as long as we don't get flipped out of the arena, we're going to be okay.
Has an aluminium body and polycarbonate base with all the weaponry and automotive components mounted on a central spine. Strong armour, but has never really caused any real meows in the past.
From Langley Moor in County Durham, Firestorm 5.
5 times they've reached the series semi-finals in Robot Wars.
What are you going to do in the All-Stars battle for us?
What we're going to do? We'll have to go against Panic Attack, won't we?
Is it quite hard being in a battle when there's 3 other really good robots in there?
Yeah, because obviously there's a few alliances going on, so it's like, should we gang up on them, or there's a bit of that goes on.
Really?
Oh,
so
yeah.
you all get into a confrab and just go, we'll get him out.
Yeah, it's a bit of a...
Graham, that is absolutely outrageous. Who have you ganged up with?
I wouldn't like to say.
A 2-wheel-driven wedge-shaped flipper, powerful, fast and manoeuvrable, but the 2-wheel drive can present problems with traction when pushing.
From Roth in Cardiff, Panic Attack.
Winner of the 2nd series of Robot Wars and still holds a proud record, never been beaten in a first-round melee.
You're out there with Firestorm 5.
Firestorm 5, who I think may have beaten us about 5 times before now, so perhaps a bit of revenge, we'll see.
Cat 3.
We're going to get it. That's the one we're out for. That's the one we can get. We're going to get it.
6-wheeled of alloy and polycarbonate construction with a lifting ram spike mechanism, battle-hardened. A new driver this year.
From Brighton in East Sussex, Bigger Brother.
3 times a Robot Wars Series semi-finalist.
You are a very, very famous robot, Ian.
I'm a famous robot.
Isn't he great? He's actually a robot. Joe here controls him, don't you, Joe?
Yeah.
Right, what are we going to do out there, Joe? You've got 3 other robots in the arena with you. They're all pretty tasty. Who are you going to go for first?
It's Shant, Matilda, Sir Killalot, Mr. Psycho, Growler, or any house robot gets in the way. In House Robots, your days are numbered!
Little Joe Watts, now 10, has grown up with Robot Wars. Again, never beaten in the first round of a battle. Cobalt titanium rear armour, bulletproof, and has the spiked flipper.
Roboteers, stand by.
Let's have a look at the teams then. Bigger Brother, the Watts family on the left, Panic Attack on the right-hand side. Cat 3 on the left there, and Firestorm 5 on the right. In the arena for the house robots, Shunt and Cassius Chrome.
3, 2, 1, activate.
And 2 machines survive this first round battle of this, the All-Star Championship, and that's a terrific start by Firestorm 5. Shunt toppled, Bigger Brother helping out. The house robot in real trouble there, so too actually Firestorm 5 momentarily up on the arena side wall. The ref bot comes in to have a check on Shunt. Bigger Brother is nagging away. Cassius Chrome fights back against Cat 3. In comes Firestorm 5. This
this is tremendous stuff. So much experience out there. Durable machines. Firestorm 5 away. Has to make amends for a disappointing end, really, in Robot Wars, the 7th championship. Has finished 3rd in Robot Wars 5 and 6, but not this time around. Oh, Bigger Brother's on the pit. Get off there. The pit is descending, and Bigger Brother were very, very nearly got the ref box down. The ref bot descends. Bring that pit back up, says the ref bot. You don't get rid of me that easily. Cassius Chrome in trouble. What a fight this is. You're only supposed to fight each other, not the house robots at this stage. Oh, the floor flipper wants to get involved as well. It is absolute anarchy out there. Rules? What rules? What did that come off? Cassius Chrome's in trouble. They're ganging up on the house robots. We will remember this for a long, long time. Cassius Chrome is spiked by Cat 3. Bigger Brother wants a little bit of the act. Oh, what's happened to his eyes? The eyes have it, or used to. And poor Cassius Chrome can see no more. Thank goodness he won't see himself being hoisted up into the air. Cat 3 is in there, you can see. The Tiger Stripes and Bigger Brother on the left-hand side. Firestorm 5 remaining aloof as Panic Attack has a little nudge. The message from these competing machines, quite clear. We don't actually mind who goes through to the second round of the All-Stars as long as we take our revenge on the house robots. Shunt, you're a big boy, Shunt, and Bigger Brother's only a wee 98-kilo machine. Come on, right yourself. You are fighting for the pride in the name of Robot Wars. Oh, the ref cap shows he's in peril as well. What on earth is going on? Oh! The drop zone's gone off. Oh dear, the washing machine dropped. That's Cassius Chrome at the attack of Bigger Brother. You can hear the ref, listen, that's the ref bot groaning, quite literally. Shunt's toppled. How do the judges mark this, by the way? 2 machines have to go through to the second round of the All-Stars. On style, on aggression, on damage, but on control, has any one single machine been strictly under control out there? It's been sheer roboteering lunacy. Is there a full moon? He's baying for mechanical mayhem, that's for sure. And the Roboteers, you're supposed to be taking on each other, for goodness sake. Come on, Panic. Oh, no! Firestorm 5 has driven itself into the pit. Why on earth did it do that? Little Ellie Watts, only 8. She doesn't know. There's her Bigger Brother machine. Oh, the truce is obviously off. Cat 3 has spiked Bigger Brother, and at last, the competing machines are having a go at each other. There we can see the remnants of Firestorm 5 down the pit. Why was Cat 3 trying to activate the pit release? Hello? Hello? There's a machine already in there. Dear, oh dear. Insanity rules, Robot Wars. Bigger Brother is trying to get itself down the pit. No, so. Well, now I've seen virtually everything here. And Cat 3 survives with Panic Attack.
Roboteers, stand by.
In the arena for the house robots, Growler, wanting to get out of the kennel. And Dead Metal 2.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Key here, Dan Tom Key is twice as powerful as Panic Attack, but Dan Tom Key has a 7-centimetre ground clearance. Panic Attack has the side skirts to prevent Dan Tom Key's front prongs getting in underneath to be able to use that flipper. And it's tactical and tense in this first semi-final of the All-Stars Championship. But Dan Tom Key getting in underneath there and flipping Panic Attack. Needs to use its spikes to self-right. Is it going to happen? Don't think so. No, you don't really want to do that unless you're going to toss him out, and that's what happened. I thought for a minute that Dan Tom Key were going to help Panic Attack to self-right, but they knew exactly what they were going to be doing. And Daniel Lambert flipped, and Dan Tom Key spins. They're through. In tremendous style. Used the flipper once to overturn, and then a measured attack. They knew what they were doing. I didn't. But then they're brainier than I. And out went Panic Attack to prove that. Now, you've won. You're through. to the All-Stars final. Is this necessary? Is it wise? Dead metal, get out of the way. Dan Tom Kier, to be honest, is a little bit ferocious, a little bit furious. Crowley is supposed to be protecting your mate out there. Dan Tom Kier is after the House Robots, who've taken a bit of a bashing tonight. Dead metal, under pressure. Growler is just about missing everything. Bless him. Runs away. Growler, you're supposed to be the fiercest thing in the Robot Wars world. And Panic Attack. Look on. A beaten machine, of course, theirs. Dan Tom Kier has beaten them and I think has beaten the House Robots into submission. A yellow card. A yellow card for Dan Tom Kier. Quite right too, Refbot. The pit nudged. Go on, Refbot, get him down. Or alternatively, get out of the way. Cease. Looks good, Dan Tom Kier.
Looks wild.